Forever. Dog.
Look, man. Where? Oh, I see. My, oh, my. Bowen, look over there. Wow, is that culture? Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. Las Culturistas.
Ding dong, Las Culturistas calling.
And they're back.
And they're back. This is our first sesh back in New York.
They've
since
returned.
our LA trip.
Bowen, thoughts? Definitive thoughts on Los Angeles now that we've been there for 9 months.
Look, it's not the pace for me just yet.
Ooh.
Here's
woo.
here's what I was saying.
Don't let it hear you.
You can't. Yeah. Hopefully, no one who lives in LA will hear this. You max out at 4 things you can do in a given day.
Yeah.
And then you're fucking zonked.
No. I will say this. We were just talking to HPJ about this before you came in. I've never in my life experienced people just being like, yeah, it's cool you're 25 minutes late.
That's
totally cool.
Wild.
Totally
like,
great.
it's normal to be 25 minutes late.
If I'm 3 minutes late in New York, I'm having a panic attack, full-fledged, cannot breathe on the subway.
Sure. Also, I don't exactly know how parking validation as a concept works.
No.
As a concept. What do you do? What's the transaction? How does that happen?
And also, it takes time.
It takes time. Also, it's officially the war of the hot producers, coast to coast.
It's true. We had such an amazing experience with our stunning producer, Brett, over in Los Angeles.
So hot producer Joe got a little jealous that we were giving so much attention to hot producer Brett.
It's true. We
in
received
LA.
a text that contained jealousy.
So, guys, y'all, just boys, girls, NBs, weigh in. Like, whose side are you on?
Well, and now you've heard both of their voices, both their luscious voices. And,
Yes.
Joe received so many compliments on his luscious timbre.
From Tara Abel from New York Magazine.
Yes, she's credited with that
Yes.
observation. But, Brett, that's a good voice.
Brett's got a good voice. You guys heard Brett on the mic?
But
He was
bitch,
wonderful.
They're both taken men, so don't get too excited, okay?
They're both spoken for. We have such a good guest today.
Such a good guest.
I'm just going to list the credits because I've been a fan since day motherfucking one.
Day motherfucking one from birth.
From birth.
I actually, literally, I took today to refamiliarize myself with all the works.
Oh,
and it was like
yes.
taking a beautiful, I don't want to say the name, a J.N. Bath.
Oh, a J.N. Bath.
Beautiful J.N. Bath, for which I was happy.
Come on.
For the bubbles.
For the bubbles. Here we go. Her fantastic album,
Yeah.
Quality Notions. It's a classic.
Yes.
Truly a classic. And I don't mean to say that as like a way of aging it. It's just truly like people will study it. You know what I'm saying?
And I also want to talk to her about it because she has similar pet peeves to me regarding
Sure.
appetizer consumption.
Just food in
so
general.
That's all I want to say for now.
Pizza, just the works.
Yes.
Okay. And then, of course,
Yes.
she has her book, How to Weep in Public.
Ooh.
So wonderful.
Very good.
And she is going to headline Punchline in Philly July 5th through 7th. And then we're going to talk. She wants to talk about
We're gonna talk dates.
the other dates. We're going to talk dates, she said. So we're going to talk about dates in New York. She's going to be in Edinburgh. So
New York dates, Edinburgh dates, Philly dates, honey.
the whole deal,
Dates,
the whole bit.
dates. She's on a world tour.
As Britney Spears
As
once
Britney
said.
Spears once said.
And please
famously.
welcome to the show,
Jacqueline
Jacqueline Novak.
Novak.
Oh my God, that was the most tension building thrill.
It's a
Oh.
And I
positive tension
couldn't.
build.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
like most.
It's you stress.
Oh my gosh! Wow. And I
Wow.
was giggling a little. Like I felt myself like I couldn't resist making like a little bit of sound.
Oh, and I love that. I love when the
Yes.
podcast guest makes a little cameo
Yes.
with a giggle in
do you
the
think
intro.
do you think it's like a coy insistence on attention, or I don't know? Like I feel like it's a toe in the water.
I thought it was a flirty, flirtatious little hint at a hello.
I think it's like I think it's just like a necessary assertion because otherwise, I mean, it would be more
Right.
weird if you were just stone cold silent the whole time.
yeah, if I looked really, that's what it is. If I looked really like out of it,
Yeah.
I'm almost
Yeah.
like, hello.
Oh no, we've had both. We've had
she there?
people who just jumped in from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, this is a chaotic energy. We've had people who
Yes.
sat there stoically and actually wouldn't make eye contact with us because they feel like they can't even
Wow.
give the air of being in the room
Oh, but you mean until they're introduced?
until they're introduced.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
But you
I'm-
existed in the plane of reality.
Thank you. I mean, I tried to keep it real for us all, while of course, I mean, artifice can only save us at the same time. I mean, it's a balance.
no.
It's a balance.
we
it's
love
all
we
balance.
love artifice,
we
but
fly back and forth.
we fly back and forth. There was a function to artifice, but why let that encroach?
It's actually Real
Yes.
Culture number 96. We love artifice, but we fly back and forth.
Absolutely. Jacqueline, let's talk dates.
Yeah, let's talk dates.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about
So,
the dates.
Normally I'm like, whatever, just like go to my Twitter or something, which is my full name. Or I'm like, which you could figure out somehow, Jacqueline.
They
Novak.
can figure it out. They Google a
Yeah,
bitch.
like, dig around. And then I'm like, but now I'm like, or you go to my Instagram because I've recently created a link tree.
Now explain this.
Okay, so my Insta is JACNOV. I say
Right.
that first.
Right.
Linktree is like, so it's a ridiculous claim I made earlier today.
What?
It's not true, but I'm going to say it anyway because I like to throw these things around. Okay? I threw this around to my boyfriend. Okay, I go, I'm actually one of the first people to riff on link in bio.
Oh, wow. Now, what were
I
your
was
early
not-
riffs on Lincoln Bio?
I'm not even sure, and I definitely wasn't one. Like, I mean, I had to. Like, honestly, I don't think I started doing it. But honestly, like, I don't remember seeing a lot of other people doing it.
Yeah, well,
So
Like,
it's,
I was
are
like,
these phonetic
what were
riffs?
mine? Like, all sorts. Like, let me think. Like,
Lincoln's by, like Abe Lincoln's by.
He does that.
That's great.
But listen, Bowen Yang at Faye Dunaway is a big connoisseur of the
Yes.
Lincoln Bio
riff, but I've hit a wall. So okay, so we'll talk
No,
about
you
your
hit
journey.
you hit a wall, right? And you're like, this is like me with sneakers, where it's like, okay, like it keeps evolving, right? And you keep pushing it, and then you get to a point where like it's become meaningless, and you're like, is the only truth to simply say link in bio now?
Yeah,
like,
right.
Like, have we gone too far, and you need to come back around? But then the terror is, will they know
right.
that I have gone that journey, and that my plain link in bio is like, it's like when you're wearing the, okay, for example,
Yeah.
Okay.
they're like, and I don't mean, still, I know there's some like Saucony, like I don't know even.
Saucony,
Saucony,
yes.
Saucony.
Ooh.
These basic ones that I had like back in high school that
Yes,
were like
yes, yes.
throwbacks then, you know, they
Yeah,
were like
oh,
the ones
yeah.
and it was like, it's these basic like blue ones that whatever. And now they're like, they've like
Now
re-upped on them.
Sauconys are like back in.
And they've like brought them, they've like, those have like, what was my vintage pair then they reintroduced, right?
reemerged.
So then I'm like, well, what do I go buy them again now? Like,
Right.
and no one, so sneakers progressively moved like in my like high school sort of like preppy sneaker kind of like thing,
Yeah.
being into like New Balance and then being
Right.
like, yeah, I get the men's grays, you know what I mean? Like, or whatever, the 228s. Like, I was like,
Oh,
into
I am
that.
with you. I was
Yeah.
like into the comfy running shoe, big time,
Wow.
And then, like,
needed.
as they became more,
mainstream.
and like, yes, yeah. Oh, first of all, like, yes, there was a
boom.
like a saturation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, there was a saturation that was like the cherry on top was like the moment where it was like, do they support Trump or something?
Yeah, right.
It was like a
Oh,
dark
right.
cherry moment.
God, I forgot about
To
that.
be everywhere means there's got to be something dark going on.
Yeah, exactly. To have reached that, like, but then so it was like, okay, do I move? So like by college, I felt like, well, other people were like just getting around to like the vintage simple
Yeah.
sneaker.
Yes.
I was like so tired of it that
I
I was
know.
moving into like modern sneakers and like kind of like you know, like just like what they became, like crazy shapes.
Yes.
But I'm like, but no, like these people don't
I
get
was
like
there already.
Yeah,
This is
I've
all,
been
it's syncopated. It's like,
This is the-
It's the curse of being
Yes,
ahead of
it's
your
syncopated.
time.
It's hell.
Yeah,
It's hell.
It's hell. And so now basically, if you were to go and do Linky Bye Bye or
Yes.
like Lincoln My Bible
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
stupid, people would be like, "Oh, she's doing that thing, Bowen Yang."
Oh my God.
But meanwhile,
This has nothing to do with
but
me.
meanwhile, Jacqueline Novak was the original
She was the
icon, and you
innovator.
have been a fan of her since day one.
Yes.
That's true.
No. And the truth is, like, I literally am. I think I was maybe like, I'm only actually the first person in my apartment to do it, and that's why. And my boyfriend still hasn't done it. So like, Chris Laker, he's a comedian as well. You know, it's always nice to
Yes.
you know give credit. But
You gotta give credit.
But you also want to like you also want the privilege of like, as an artist, like. That you get to talk about your like lover as like just like a character in your life.
Yes, absolutely.
And so, like,
no
also
one
to
should
not-
really know who they are.
Yeah, so it's kind
Yeah.
of like it goes two ways.
Yeah.
But anyway, I really enjoy making those claims. Like, even though like I knew like if anyone was around, it would be immediately. Well, you know, do you feel imprisoned by Gabe Liebman's Send being like the greatest thing that's ever happened? And, like,
yes, but then
Yeah.
he hasn't been able. He's never come out of that. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's fine.
No,
I'm saying
yeah.
Gabe
He
has
holds
kept,
strong.
He holds strong. He's kept that consistent for what, 5 years now?
at least, right?
Wait, what is this? I don't know what
He
this
ends
is.
every tweet with send, and he's been doing this since
the word send.
The word
in
send.
all caps. And
Oh my
it's
god,
wonderful.
yeah. He can
okay?
never stop.
I think it's like, you know.
It's like a Kristen Shaw is a horse thing, where it's like, okay, this thing is. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like
Wait.
Kristen Shaw as a horse is a bit.
Kurt Braunohler and Kristen Shaw did this.
Oh.
Did this bit
Yes.
like back in 2007, where
Yes.
it's just Kurt screaming
Yes.
Kristen Shaw as a horse, and then like her
She's
dancing.
pacing back and forth.
But they did a radio lab on this. This is how fucked up it is.
Yes.
Like, there's a cycle of, oh, this is funny. This is getting old. I hate
Yes.
it. Oh, this is funny again. Oh, I hate it. Oh, but this
Yes.
is funny again. Like the beats of
Amazing.
yeah.
that is that what we're touching on? Like with Gabe, even like
Well, I actually feel like I believe he reached something. I feel he actually got something so good that it like cannot and will not die. The prison I was referring to is our prison, okay?
Yes.
Which is like knowing that like it'd be like, you see like, this is like a cheeseball example, I feel like, and like not one I'm even not like familiar with. But like if you were like Anna Wintour's like Bangs or whatever, okay? Like you're like a strong choice you like hold on to through 3 years. And you're like, if I like do you ever want to make an arbitrary choice so you have something?
So you have something that is like, okay, like when you see people who are branded so specifically and you're like, God damn, that person. Like Mateo Lane's like mustache and the backwards hat and the big arms and the tank top. That's like Mateo Lane. If anyone ever was going to do that, you'd be like, bitch, I see you dressing up in Mateo Lane drag and get out of here.
But is there some sort of cycle with Anna Wintour's bangs, for example, where it's like, oh, they're chic, oh, they're lame, oh, they're chic again? Is that?
Well, I think she's safe because it's safe. Like it's the sticking through when it's not cool that makes it like
that's
an iconic choice, right?
Yes, sure.
And so I believe Gabe is safe, and like I'm also safe. Like obsessed with how brilliant it is. Like some things are pure excellence, and that is like someone asked like I'm like, why do you always do it? And I like. Even though we've never discussed it with Gabe, like launched into like a 5-sentence like explanation of why I thought it was genius. And it's like,
oh, you explained it.
Yes. Yeah. Like, and like, I just like, I don't know, like sometimes people get it right.
Yeah, no, he got it right.
He got it right.
You're going to die. I have a ridiculous example of this issue in college. I forgot about this. I told my friend like who wanted to attract the interest of like this crush she had, like some older like guy in the school or whatever. I was like, I think it's really important to get like, a strong and bright accessory, okay? And I was like, like a red purse, okay? Like just that, like walking around campus.
No matter what else you wear, it's a red purse.
Okay. He's like, oh, there's red purse girl.
Yeah,
there was red purse.
We remember her.
That sounds like maybe like did I pull that from Clueless? I'm not sure.
Do you know what song literally just came in my head, which would also work? Yes. Raspberry beret. Like if you were the girl with the raspberry beret, you'd be unforgettable. Maybe there'd even be a Prince song about you, girl.
Absolutely.
Listen.
Well, then is it like?
What do you have?
So what do we do?
Well, this is the thing. I've had to go through different visual iterations where I feel like now I feel like an ass. Now it's like, oh, different glasses. Like I should have just committed to one frame, one hairstyle for a decade.
The prison of branding. No.
It is a prison.
I have a bird's eye view on this because I do see you each day of my life.
Yes.
And I feel that these glasses are it, but with your
short
frosted hair.
I gotta go back to frosted.
I love the frosted hair.
You're seeing the elements that you're like, it was this one and this one.
Yes. And I putting them together because it's a little bit of like modern new and like a little bit of classic, which I think is very you. And the reason I came to this is because we were just taking a lot of lifts in LA. And Bowen's lift picture is this like very severe photo of him like with the frosted hair and with the silver hair. And I was like, ooh, that was it.
But those glasses are incredible.
But with these glasses.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Well, okay, so now how does this, so let's talk dates.
Yes. So the whole point is simply, the link tree is there. But the thing is, I've put together all these shows so I can try to work out this show before I go to Edinburgh. So it's like, I've got two that John Early's gonna like, we're gonna banter up front because we haven't gotten to do that.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with John.
He's a celebrated young man.
Oh, okay, celebrated young man. Now I remember.
He's blonde.
Yeah.
And
I know the blonde one.
Yeah, it's the blonde one.
Yeah,
and we're gonna banter up front because we haven't gotten to do this since the old cake shop days. And then he's gonna leave the stage where I'm gonna then do my hour basically, and then he's gonna come back on and compliment me at the end.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Or say what he wants. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, really.
But what a beautiful symmetry.
That's going to be at Union Hall. That the tickets just went on sale.
Celebrated
for
space.
July 21st, I think. They're all in the link tree. Jack Nove, JACNOV. And then I'm doing some UCB East late nights. But it's just head to the Instagram for all the dates, okay? But we're going to Philly. We're going to
we're going everywhere. The link tree has the dates. Can I connect with you about my appetizer thing?
Please.
Okay, so you discuss. Yes. And I'm a big Wings fan as well.
Oh yes, this is huge for me.
You have an amazing joke about like being born early because you think you smell wings.
I totally forgot about that.
Which is I know it's one of my favorites. I love it. And I feel I was also born early and it may have been for the same reason. But when people
let's talk.
Eat get in
there.
When people eat wings and they don't quote use all of the buffalo, aka they don't suck that thing bone dry.
Yes, exactly.
Until it could be, quote, a gypsy's earring.
Oh my God, thank you.
As you say in your stand-up.
Do I say gypsy in the stand-up?
I believe it's a gypsy's
No, because
earring.
I've since changed it. Because like to me, like, you know, back in 2016 or whatever, you know, like we're moving quite fast now. Not to say that it
was
gypsy
2014,
was
I
cool.
believe.
Yeah. I know. I think it was.
I think it was even further away.
I'm giving you more time.
Yeah, right.
Wait, maybe you didn't say
Yes.
gypsy's earring and I'm making that up.
No. It was gypsy's earring, and like I like didn't recognize gypsy as like a thing that's like offensive.
I don't think
whatever.
anyone did until
it was like
recently,
an
yeah.
archetypal.
You're
whatever.
learning.
It's okay.
And so
we're
I've
okay.
changed it to pirate wench.
I love that.
Great.
Yes.
I love that.
Now watching 2
You
years
know,
when
we
you
evolve.
can't say wench. Oh, but you know that they went down to the
They'll
Pirates.
come for wench.
Did you hear about this? They went down to the Pirates of the Caribbean and they like changed the whole scene where they're like doing the like
Oh no.
auctioning of the women.
No.
And they made it so that the women are in power. Like they changed the whole ride because
so
That
of
the
Right.
women are auctioning the men.
the women are like in charge of the auction in some way, and it's not like a prostitution.
But then when we
thing.
enslave men, like, and have like the great like genocide of the males,
Yes, absolutely, which is very much coming.
Oh my God. But,
Wait,
yeah.
but yes,
Take-
okay. When
ground
people
me.
when
Oh, yeah.
people
Oh,
don't
yeah.
eat the wing,
So yeah, I have a real problem with this because, first of all, I leave them dry. They're clip art. They're
They're
art.
they are
Jewelry.
bone. They're jewelry for whatever group. I feel like a disparaged
For Roma
safely.
people.
yes,
It's like, God, comedy is such an indignity. I mean, like, you know, like just because like it is a constant issue, because I do feel, and this is like coming up constantly now, I do feel like stand up, you're kind of like getting up, like to be cheeseball about it, right? You are kind of like getting up in the bar and speaking to the people, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
like if you're too, like you kind of, I sometimes feel like you got to move the people along. Like there's a joke in Quality Notions that like I've kind of been or everything on Quality Notions is currently being revamped, which is why I may like, or expanded upon, which is why I may pull it.
Yeah,
It might be the Quality Notions
Wow,
demos, like
love
get it
it.
now.
Ooh.
And then like, you know what I mean? Because
listen to the OG tracks.
You're gonna
now.
pull a fucking
Yeah.
Brian Wilson or something.
because it's kind of like, it's like this, it's like a medley of me just going up and going through my notebook going,
Yeah.
and I'm like, a lot of these are like,
And you did that at Anfest a few years ago? Is that what it was?
it was just a
at
one nighter
Ars
at
Nova.
Ars Nova.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
And but anyway, it's like there's all these things. It's just tough to stand up because you're like trying to communicate. So on that album, I have this thing where I'm like, and I've been doing it like I was doing a version of it this weekend in context, which is like, you know, oh, what a bummer, like that my boyfriend is. I mean, I don't say oh, what a bummer, but just like, I mean, I guess
The
I
general
could.
idea is
Okay, the idea is oh, what a bummer.
that.
I open on oh, what a bummer. I'm like, you know, I have my things about the shame of being a heterosexual woman in this day and age, and then I'm like, and my boyfriend, like, he's a heterosexual male, and like, I don't think he's like ever had sex with a dude, and I'm like humiliated for him. You know what I mean? And it's that kind of thing, right? And then I'm like, and like some of the audiences in front of like are like, huh, like you know, like shocked and like whatever, and so then I'm like nudging them along by being like, no, well, like, don't you see, like, it's obviously like really manly for a man to like be able to like take down another man like a lion, you know, like a lion taking a lion, not coming for me a flower. Like it's basically like I'm like it's fruity to like women, like you like girls, whatever. So I'm utilizing obviously like sort of like I'm kind of like I'm going like, no, you're a fruit. So I'm utilizing like
the language, which is now questionable. But I will say this: I listened to it and I didn't think a second thing about it. I actually thought that joke was like extremely smart, and like the language I got.
Right.
But also, I can understand other people being like,
but you're still
because
enforcing.
this word is here and because this language is here. I don't think so, honey. But I get that
because I'm like, I feel like it nudges them. I feel like it nudges the confused, because then what happens is like the people that are like, huh? Why would you want your boyfriend? You know, I don't get it. And then like I say that and they like laugh despite themselves and like go home like ever so slightly changed. And so I'm like, it's not my most evolved version of what I was going to say about like, you know, whatever.
That
if I was
phenomenon,
say
they're that idea.
Amongst, you know, but it's like kind of like, but I'm also like maybe like who am I serving if I'm only if I'm not nudging along? I know this sounds very self whatever.
No, because it is something I think about a lot. Yeah, like oftentimes even with this podcast, it's just like because we're doing like quote unquote like cultural takedowns, and I'm like, okay, who are we being too hard on? Who are we like talking about maybe not the right way? Because especially like with gay men, like there is this like proclivity, I think, because of the way we've been socialized to kind of like talk about women like we own them.
Oh my God,
and also like
and it's like a relationship that's like both loved and
absolutely.
Right.
And I think
Do it to me, you know,
vice
like-
versa too with
Yeah.
women towards gay men, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
really every kind of group towards each other. Like
Yes.
the way that you talk about each other, like
Yes.
in general terms, it's like. Obviously, like if you went really down the road with it, it's all problematic. But
Yes.
how much do we care, and at which point do we start caring?
Yeah.
Sure. I think, Jacqueline, I think you escape all of this because
God.
remember
Because you are the best.
no. Because you always, I mean, you're part of your trademark is that you always have this layer of awareness on top of what
Great.
you're saying. Because remember this, Matt? I think Matt
is
and
a
I
dream.
saw you at 51st Jokes a few years ago.
yeah.
Where I think you like you went off on your thing about on a joke about pizza, probably,
Yeah. Yes.
probably. but then you broke out of it at a certain point, and you were like, okay, and I think something happened. Do you remember this? Something happened, and then you broke out of that, and you were like, all right, whatever. Like I'm riffing on pizza, but like I'm not gonna come up here and do a fucking like Mark
Yes.
Norman thing, you know? Like I think.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
It was amazing, and like it got such a good response. I
Oh,
mean,
wait.
you weren't shitting on Mark
No,
Norman.
and he was there.
He was there.
Yeah,
he was
Yeah,
there.
I was like, right, because I'm feeling the anxiety of like frustration at like Mark presenting like this polished, like
Right.
I'm just like, I'm constantly suffering at my own way, and I have to be like talked, like I literally like everything, I just see like the opposite of what I do, and I'm like, that's what I should have done.
But no,
And it's like,
though,
of
right?
course that's not
Right, right.
you got to be you, and you got to like find your way and whatever.
But in the moment, you think, yes, this is what
But
I.
yeah. I'm like, sorry, like, because I'm like, like there's always one person that becomes the face of your anxiety of like the evening.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
100%.
yes.
It's like, so it could be someone else on the show that like you feel like,
Yeah, oftentimes.
that like it's often them more than not,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, and they'll
Like,
never
they've never
know.
seen me, and they've never seen me do good. You know, like,
oh
do you
yeah.
have those people that you just memorize as having never seen you do
Yes.
well?
I have in my head
Yeah.
a file
Yeah.
cabinets of every time everyone has seen me perform,
Yes.
and whenever anyone is like, "Oh hey," like and they go to me, I'm like, "No, they never saw me. They don't even know I'm good.
Yes.
This is not a real interaction."
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
so funny.
I have it. I'm very bad with
But
it.
I have that
Yes.
with people who.
I care.
It's not even people that you've bombed in front of. Like I
Sure.
have this anxiety, and it's so funny because I'm opening for him this
Yeah,
weekend.
great.
But with John,
Yeah.
like I have this inferiority complex with John Early that has like followed me for years and
No.
years, and like
Hilarious.
he's
I mean,
always been so
understandably,
supportive
right?
and so great.
Yes.
And he's seen me do well at shows,
Yes.
and like I don't feel like I have to prove anything. But
Yes.
it's also like, oh, but it's John. Like he's.
Yeah.
I think a
just
lot of
such-
gay men have that with gay comics have that with him because
They've
he
got
really
it, right?
he really is the first one to really embrace all this
Yeah.
special specific shit about him, and like really he
Yes.
was doing gay comedy.
He
and
was-
he
yeah.
really
Yes.
got away with it in a way that it's like, oh my God, he's doing it.
Yes.
Yeah,
And because
yeah.
of the way we're socialized, doing it means like maybe he's the only one that can. And that does get you a little bit in your head,
Yes.
but obviously that's not true. In the last couple of years, it's like really broke open for everybody. And I think
Sure.
he's,
Totally.
like truly just him succeeding has just made
Yeah.
it so much better
No,
for everybody.
absolutely.
No, it's true. All
Yeah.
tides rise, or boats in the
All
tide.
boats
All
rise.
tides rise in the boat.
Rule number 78 of culture.
All tides rise in the boat.
but anyway, to go back to the switch
Yes,
versus jokes
yes.
thing, like you always have that awareness. I think you escape that sort
Oh
of
my God.
whatever
heaven.
questionable language. I mean,
Right.
LOL, who cares?
Right.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
There's
is
a
it's like,
wink. There's a wink
There's always a
to
wink.
the not the cheap seats. Or
Right,
whatever.
right.
Maybe it is the cheap seats. I don't know.
It's always the cheap seats. But there is a thing. It's like, you're doing comedy and you should be able to get up there and be messy because you're the comedian.
Yes.
Like you're the jester
Yes.
in the room, the jester
Oh my
in the
God.
court. You're supposed to be the one who's a mess in front of the king.
Yes.
But now it's just like the king being like, write down everything that jester said
Oh
and
my
let's
God.
use it against them
Yes.
potentially.
Yes.
It's hard.
There you go.
Ugh.
It is a weird position to be in.
Yeah. No, and like, yeah, getting is like purpose. Like I know, like,
Come on.
I was like I
Get
can't
into
help it.
purpose,
I'm like
girl.
sitting here and like launched in. It's like so typical. Like my anxieties of the day. Like why couldn't I keep it locked down? You know what I mean?
I mean, I asked about chicken wings.
Oh, wait, I do want to talk about that actually a little more. So wait, my experience with the wings. Wait, oh right, but there was like a new appetizer thing that no one ever likes that I like felt like maybe I should share now because like this is my only chance. Oh,
Which one?
it's just I don't think it's on like anywhere because like no one ever likes this, but like I think it's so funny, or it's just like a thing, which is one of my other appetizer issues. It could be on there. I don't even remember, but. It's like I hate when
Oh my God.
wait, there's a couple things. Okay, but I hate when so like me and my friend are like sharing don't worry, I'm not doing my other nachos bit. You're like, yeah,
No.
yeah, bitch. Yeah, but you literally
Bitch,
did it.
are you doing the nachos bit?
You did it on.
She's gonna do the nachos.
You did it
bit.
on television, like whatever. Like you're one, or whatever. Like
Oh my
a
God.
knockabout's like, and that's also like a version on Quality Oceans, right? I'm a version artist. Sorry. Different nachos issue, which is, let's say I'm eating nachos, me and my friend sharing it as the appetizer. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like, it's like down to mostly the end, and it's kind of soggy, and it's just like the remains. Okay. But like, I'm still working on it, right?
Yeah,
and they come and they come by with our burgers, and they think that automatically, like, surely
They must
because
be
the
done.
entree is here, I've forgotten all about, like, I no longer am interested in these because of course, like, I recognize there's a full burger and like fries or whatever.
Right.
And
You
it's
move-
like, excuse me, no, okay,
Yeah, no.
put them down, but like, don't take that away.
No.
And just because it looks like soggy, like to you, it's like. They were there for me when you weren't, and when the entree wasn't. Okay, like, and I saw them age. Like, it's like my elderly
They're
like
family.
wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that slop
I
is
see her
family to you.
beauty.
Yeah.
like I saw them fresh, and I saw them like they took me here as I ate them.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I went out to dinner with Sydney Washington yesterday, and there was like 3
my God.
edamames left on our little
Yes,
plate, and they
yes.
came to take those 3 little edamames away, and I was like, I don't think so. No, those are for us. Like they're the same family of the other ones. Like I ate them.
Exactly.
I will eat them all. They'll all end up in the same place.
Exactly.
Wow.
That's where they belong.
Well, you know what's hysterical? This will free you about if you ever have hesitation about taking the last whatever, like the last
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never do.
cookies or
Ugh.
something. Okay, so you're already free, but it's
No.
like the last cookie is no different than the first cookie. Like,
No, right.
hey, you took 7 before. Like, I mean, do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. No,
There's-
I think you, and also like it's about who wants it the most at that point. I really don't believe in like, well, I've had the most, I've had the second
Yes.
most, I've had the least. It's like I always ask, I'm like, who wants that last?
But
one?
there are- but there
Whose
are ex-
desire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the difference is there's an existential difference in that last cookie.
No, you're right.
Being there are stakes attached.
I'm refusing context. Like, it's kind of like there's a purism that's false to what I'm saying, but it sometimes needs to be acknowledged because like I'm like, yeah, but you had no qualms 3 cookies ago.
It is a political situation.
It is.
Maybe I stand by. Maybe I actually am coming around.
I think you always just gotta ask.
You always have
And
to
then if they
ask.
say no,
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't mind. That is on them, and that they should go to their therapist
Oh.
about it.
Oh,
Sure.
absolutely.
Like, that's
They're
on that.
Right.
There's okay. Can we just quickly revisit the wings thing because
Yes.
I am on the other side of this to say
Oh no.
I just discard the bones even if there's shit left over.
By shit, you mean the thing you ordered that's delicious?
Well, here's the thing. Like I'm putting this in my mouth, and there's
some weirdness.
something inedible there, and so
The marrow?
the bone.
Well, you don't eat the bone,
No, I
but
say
you
you
leave
leave
off the marrow.
You leave the bone behind.
I know, but
Yes.
the fact
like
that
it's a
I'm,
tiny piece of jewelry.
it's like I'm not okay. Let's
But
say
revisit the bit. It's all in the text.
all the time.
No,
I'm
but
just
this
saying
is actually key.
this is what is key.
Okay, what you're saying, because you're saying like the gristle or the like or the whatever.
No, it's
That's
just I
It
leave
is
the,
bone marrow, y'all. It's even grosser
I'm
than you
not saying
think.
that. I'm saying the bone, the literal bone gets in my way when it's in my mouth,
right.
and so
So you
my
can't get
body
to
just
everything.
rejects it. I'm like, no, I don't want this anymore.
And I can understand that because there is
right.
then more meat in front of you that is more easy to
Yes.
eat.
exactly, I'm
And
not
that-
gonna.
that is one of my critiques of the heterosexual male. Okay.
Okay.
This is there's 2 issues in here, and this is
Go
what I get
on.
into
Okay.
with the wing. Okay. It's
Okay.
one. I don't want to see you. Okay, not you guys. Okay,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
potential lover. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
Yes,
potential lover.
Okay. I don't want to see him, not to like go into a bit, but you forced it.
Go into a bit.
Yeah, we forced it.
Like, I want someone who gets into the corners where the flavor's
Oh.
found.
Yes, honey.
I don't want someone who feels a little cartilage and runs the other way.
Get into the corners.
Wrestle with it. Anyway, that's my bit language. Okay.
I love it.
But there's that piece, and then there's one other thing you said I was dying to respond to.
It gets in my way. It's inedible.
The gristle, the marrow.
Oh wait,
It's the mouth feel is off. Like there's more meat in
Yes.
front of me that I can. That
Oh,
I'd
the
rather eat.
other meat being in front of you that you can move on.
oh
move
yes,
on
that's
to.
the other piece.
Yeah.
So the heterosexual male, this is another issue.
Okay.
But this is something I've thought about for a long time, which is these guys that claim they can't they can't do monogamy, okay, because they love. Can I say pussy?
Yeah, you can say pussy. Say it loud, say it proud. Guaranteed we've said
I
it.
was doing a podcast and something and they're like, can you like try to keep it friendly? And like for some reason, like it was
Friendly?
like never, I never cursed more in my life. It was like psychotic.
You never ask that question because then it's in their head and then you will say fuck to
Yeah,
it.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Would you like,
100.
would you like some nose with your soup? You know,
Fuck pussy.
You know
Yeah.
the old joke.
Nose with your soup.
It's like, don't talk about the nose. Don't talk about the nose. Would you like some nose with your soup? It's like, I don't know. It's some kind of like old Jewish joke or something.
I
no,
love it.
yes, of course. Wait, so men claim they love pussy.
Oh yeah, right. And so they're like, I love pussy so much, okay, like that I like can't like be tied down with one, like, and I'm like, excuse me, okay, and it's similar to not finishing the wing, okay.
Okay.
It's like, no, you've never actually had a pussy in
Right.
full. You've never like basically like the only thing you think is hot is novelty, and it's like, wow, that's gonna like. So I see it as similar
You're
to the
so
wing. Right. It's like someone that's just like, I love Sundays. That's why I need 10 Sundays. Okay, time for another Sunday, and you see him,
Yeah.
and he's like, he takes a cherry off the top and like eats it. Sorry to reference cherries on the top again. Okay, so
We need it. Honestly, I need that
can't
image.
We're
I
keeping-
can't do it organically. Okay, so like take a bite of the thing with a little bit of like with the whipped cream. Okay,
Yes.
and then like. Time for the next Sunday because I love Sundays. And you're like, you've never
Fuck
really
you.
dug
Even had
in
one.
to one.
You've never
fully.
gotten into the messy, goopy slop.
Yes.
Again, it's rule of culture number 6. If you
haven't
haven't eaten the slop, you have not eaten the dish.
Sunday.
The Sunday.
You're so right.
It's food is so telling.
Like,
Yeah.
like a guy, like
So telling.
when you hook up with a guy once and then they're like, goodbye. I
Yeah.
don't understand.
They get to act
Yeah.
like they're more sexually, they have a greater sex drive than
Yes,
you. That's
yes.
what's unfair. And it's like, no, but you only, like, the only thing, like, look, it's challenging. We all find novelty attractive, right?
Of course.
And it's
We
like,
do.
it's always fun to like, but if I've been thinking of this, it's like through the ages, like I read in college this like book for married couples, like because I'm like, if I'm gonna one day be married or something,
I
like,
better read this.
I want to be in a monogamous relationship. Can you keep it alive? It's
Right.
called
Yeah,
passionate
yeah.
marriage or whatever. Like I read it like in
Right.
advance because I like needed to think about like whether I was gonna pursue monogamy.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Because I was worried. And it's like surely there is more in this world that is hot, right?
Yes.
Right.
Than not only just crossing boundaries in general, because you could do there's a number of boundaries, right? Like
Right.
with a person you could go deeper and deeper.
Uh-huh.
But like literally just the first one, like that the only thing that's hot is like stepping over, hey, oh my God, we're friends. No, we're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing. Like we have to do better. We have to try, like we have to have a better palate for sex.
Okay, great. So then, I mean, at what point does someone just eat every single, like,
Yeah,
eat every little piece of gristle, marrow,
what's the end of the
whatever?
line?
Oh, it's too much.
What's the end of the line sexually? Like you feel completely
with
eaten.
sex- yeah, right. I think it's like it must be like, what is it?
It's just,
To feel
I know what it is.
ravished?
With my ex, never
Ravaged?
mind. I cannot say that.
Oh my God,
It's like
I
when
know
you have
what
a
it is.
medical issue, and you tell
Yes.
your partner, "Can you look at this?" And it may
Yes.
not be on like
Oh,
the
yes.
best part of your body.
Yes.
That's when you're like,
when
know
you mean
you're
you're
there.
past it or you're there.
That's when you know
That's
you're,
when you're there.
No, not even past it. That's when you know you're
Yeah.
there. You're like, okay,
You're in it.
like potentially this is like a life situation because I'm asking you to like
yes.
check out the little things on my
Totally,
body that
totally.
even I can't see.
okay,
no,
maybe
and that's why I reject kind of sometimes the like keep the door closed when you pee. I'm like, no, but can't we find like a post like
postmodern thing.
yeah, like way towards hotness. Like I don't want it to just be like keep the mystery alive like it was
Right.
when you first met. Like that just seems
No.
flimsy.
Well,
Yes.
Or if the mystery, if the mystery being alive defeats this like sexiness, maybe that's not the true one.
Exactly. We should dig deeper.
We should
Yeah.
dig deeper. And you've already answered my question, Jacqueline, because as soon as you're done eating every single thing off that bone,
Yes.
it becomes a pirate wench's earring.
Yeah.
Like you make it
Yeah.
something
Something
else.
beautiful.
Oh my God. The Lovely Bones.
The
Did you ever
Lovely-
read The Lovely
Holy
Bones of
God!
Grief?
What a
Oh,
vicious
no.
book. Can you believe the first chapter?
I didn't read it. I was too scared.
Wait,
Don't read it. Don't read it.
Hilarious. It's great. I mean, I read it, like
Yeah,
I don't know when it
years
came out
ago.
or something.
Sure.
The Lovely Bones refer to like, as I recall, it was like
Yeah.
a lovely. I mean, it was a metaphor of like the lovely bones of like grief that like in the grief and in the absence of.
There's really a bag of bones in the book, though, y'all.
Oh God.
There is.
Oh right. But the metaphor, the lovely
It's
bones
literal,
of grief,
too.
and like the things that come out of it from this raw space of grief.
Sure.
The things and the relationships that come out of like handling it, whatever, and like
That is
something like
beautiful.
that.
Did you see the movie?
Mark Wahlberg?
Mark Wahlberg,
Saoirse Ronan,
Rachel Weisz, I believe. Saoirse
yeah.
plays the young daughter.
Oh, right.
And then Stanley Tucci in an
Is the dad.
Oscar-nominated... No, he's the pedophile.
Oh, he's the rapist. He's the killer.
Right.
He's the killer. And he got nominated for an Oscar for that. And I'm like, a little bit, I don't think so, honey. You play a pedophile and you get an Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
You know
Totally,
what I mean? Like,
totally. It's like, yeah.
anything brave will get an Oscar nomination. I'm like, I had a camera on me while I was dressed as a pedophile talking creepy, and it's an Oscar nomination. It's like,
Did you really get in there? Like, there's that movie, or is it a show? There's something that just came out with Laura Dern.
Oh, The Tale, right? That the HBO thing.
Yeah, it's based on a thing, and it's like I was reading an article about how they shot it. So there's like a young girl and her like sexual, abuse or whatever, or like an inappropriate relationship or whatever, something, and it's like. They were like, a therapist was on set. The girl was basically like the child actor was never. This is like how it was described. Like actually, like not to be like crass, but I thought it was kind of funny. They're like it's based on the director or someone. It's based on their like
actual
story of like a relationship with like someone like a coach or something that was that they like kind of thought was normal at the time, and like looking back, like kind of like unpacked it, whatever. Yeah. So this movie is like I think it's like the adult self, and she like. And then memories and like the girl self and they wanted to actually have these scenes of like the sexual like acts going on in some form, like see it, like you got to see it, like it's ugly, and
this
like
is the situation.
You got to stop like making it like a subtle like brave Oscar thing that you don't see anything. It's just like a guy like like lurking in a corner, and you're like brave, you know, like
and also
brave.
making rape like a movie thing, and making like rape for movies,
film it,
yeah, like softening the
rape.
edges,
right.
So it's like let's do it. Let's like, but let's not make it like make a traumatizing experience for the actor.
So they had to
but it sounds so that, for example, instead of having her lay on a bed, okay,
oh my god,
you're like on her back, okay, like she's I was reading about like the filmmaking of it, and like she's like standing against a wall that's made up to look like a bed, and then her hair is glued like against the wall bed, and then like. The direction never has anything to do with it. The male actor, and I can't remember who it is right now, but like is a star, and I just forgot who it was.
Oh, wow.
It's like never on set with a girl. Like they're like, okay, she's never acting the scene.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
And so the director's like, and then the director's like to get the shots. Okay,
gives
like, the
her direction in
that
other
is, like,
ways.
Totally like you just fell off your horse. Okay.
God.
or whatever, or like grandma gave you a piece of candy, and it's like kind of like disturbing in another way.
Insane.
Because it's like, is there something still not inappropriate? Because I'm all for all art, right? But it's like, it's almost like to then use the imagery that you purposely got a different way to mean a different thing,
right?
Has like a kind of weird quality to it. So like later when you're like, when you've grown up, but like apparently she did read the script and like.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, but if they were like not being honest with her on set, I wonder if she's gonna like watch it back later and be like, oh, and be like, look at her, see herself reacting to the situation and feel weird about it because it wasn't her natural.
Right. It's almost like, oh, look at you acting like how, like, it's like, no, that was me acting like. It's like you didn't get to choose your own shot in a way.
Uh-huh.
But
you're not inhabiting the situation.
Right.
So you can never really stand behind it.
You can never like truly stand behind the performance, right? Yeah. And you're like, and you're almost like, I would never play like maybe later you're like, I would never play like, a face of trusting confusion like that.
Yeah.
And they used so it's like, film is the director's medium, I guess.
That film is the director's medium.
It sounds.
I don't know. That's a hard one.
It sounds like it's like a hollowed out portrayal in a way, but also I understand wanting to like make sure. Yeah, just protecting and just making sure everyone is okay.
Yeah, I think it is the right choice, and like I'm coming at it kind of hard. Just
no, but there's a crassness to it.
I agree with you.
And even
it's bizarre.
It's fascinating.
It's it's a little crazy. Can I ask a question? Did we get to the lovely bones by talking about chicken bones?
Yes,
we did.
That is a gorge.
I fly where you take me.
Yeah,
I love it.
Fly where you take me, honey.
We fly where you take us.
Potential title of ep.
I fly where you take me.
I fly where you take me. That's what she says when she gets on the plane. She, when you walk in and like you see the flight attendants, and you just make sure you go in and check in the cockpit. Hey, just so you know, man, I fly where you take me.
Beautiful.
Wherever you're going,
I find I get a better
going.
flight when they know that they can be creative with it. I find it's a smoother ride.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to take a dip here and there. You want to go 14,000 instead of 13, honey. I'm still here. I'll still fly where you take me.
Oh my God. Have you ever had any horrific turbulence. I had a bad one that was like we dropped 200 feet.
No.
And everyone screamed.
No. My instinct is to laugh, but oh my God.
I'm waiting for that day to happen. And I will be scared to death.
I can't with I'm furious that we have accepted flight as a thing we do.
Everyone was screaming, thinking they were gonna die.
It wasn't. It's not as like good. There was just one. It was like one comical moment. Okay, that felt like
Oh, no.
it probably felt like. In all honesty, you're not expecting me to feel this way. Like like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride,
Right.
the little like dips. Okay,
Yes, of course.
And there's like a little stomach drop. It's not crazy, right? It wasn't like really long. But it was like this. It was like, whoa!
No.
Oh my God, the face you just made.
And everyone like, and for like, there's something comedic to me, like about like because it's
Everyone
so
at
absurd.
once.
Yeah, all at once. And then like one person kind of like stumbled and fell on their knees in the. And there was a lot of turbulence after that, but that was the one dip. And then I was like tweeting at JetBlue. I think it was JetBlue. I was like tweeting at JetBlue like from the plane, like, and then there was like a thing like we're gonna land. Oh wait, it's too choppy to land. Like we're going back up. And then like, well, fuel is low, so we're gonna go again. We're gonna give it another go. We're gonna try again. And it was like, I like turned on the little like TV thing, which was like coming in and out. Like, like I hadn't watched any like content. Like I quickly like focused on it really intently and like it was and then getting off the plane like I wanted deets like
I know
like,
what exactly
happened,
went down,
you know I never got a response from JetBlue. It was very weird because I see them respond to other people's stuff.
Oh wow. Honestly, maybe they saw that you were a comedian and didn't want you to troll them and read them.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, wait, no. I don't want to hear from the like pilot about exactly what specifically is going on. Like if they had said we're gonna give it another go. And fuel is low. I never want to hear the fuel is low.
Fuel is low is
come on.
Terrifying.
That's the worst thing you can hear.
We're gonna try again. Like, and what if we fail? Like it's basically like options have decreased.
Yeah.
Well, here's my big question. Okay. And sorry, I'm like soaring on not having eaten anything today. And I had lunch. I forgot.
I had lunch too, and I fell asleep right after, and it was so bad. There's just chicken and slop sitting in my stomach because I ate the slop. I follow the rules. I eat all.
You got it. You got to fly
yes.
where the slop takes you.
Yes.
So what's the big question?
No, but I'm like soaring, and so like I feel like people are gonna be let them talk.
No. This is we concede to our guests.
No.
So you were gonna pose a big question.
Oh, I know
about
what it
flight.
is. Yeah. Are you ready? So
Yeah, go.
The big question. This is what comes to mind every time there's like a lot of turbulence. Okay, and there's always some noises with. I believe landing gear should stay open and down the whole time.
Yeah,
Why are we like pressing button on the questionable? Similar to like I know this isn't how it works, but like, and I've never gone skydiving. Okay.
Oh my God.
Like, don't really plan to, but like.
Yeah.
The whole like release of the chute terrifies me. Like gizmos and gadgets and mechanical release always seem like potential for failure.
Right.
So like if you could hold the parachute closed, like just like a bunched up fabric, and then like suddenly like let it go, okay?
Yeah.
That would feel a lot safer to me.
You
know
would
what I mean?
rather take it into your own hands than have like a contraption.
Yes, because like I can't think of the perfect metaphor, but it's like yeah.
Why give over your life to something else?
Something when it can be in your own hands.
Yeah.
That's like that's basically like at the mechanical level of like a zipper or a spring or like those kinds of things are like always like what breaks.
Or there's
right?
there's a margin for error in all of this.
I'm gonna put out a guess.
Failure.
No, yeah,
that
please.
if we put it in everyone's hands, like if we sent them flying out of the planes with the ball of like umbrella in their hand, I bet we'd have more deaths. I'm gonna think so.
No, I
went
that.
skydiving. I did it when I was
What?
18 years old and young and dumb and
Get it.
not
Did
yet full of
you
cum.
hesitate at the door?
Or
were you
here's the
on
thing.
someone's back or
Here's the
whatever?
thing. You had to do tandem.
Tandem.
So when I was 18 years old, like all my high school friends were like, "Let's do it to celebrate graduation."
Oh my
and I was
God.
like, "Okay." And so we did it. And basically, the rule is you sign like your life away. Like literally, you sign like
Oh
a book
my
that says like,
God.
"If you die, you can't sue, babe." And so I signed on the dotted
sue,
line. I was
babe.
like, "Yeah, we're all doing it."
Can't believe
Meanwhile, I get in the plane. I quickly remember I have a fear of flying. So then we're up in the air. We're at 13,000 feet, and they say like once you get in the plane itself, there is no turning back. They can't. You can't stay in the plane and like
plane
land.
No, wait.
It's
why?
as if the plane's gonna explode.
No, I was gonna
why?
say,
Yeah,
did you-
why?
right. Did you know that every pilot
Because
explodes?
yeah, that's their last ride, baby. No, but what happens is the plane drops. The plane doesn't land back at that base. The plane lands somewhere else.
Right.
Okay.
And it's like a rotating thing of planes. I think it's like a different plane all the time.
So you'd be like...
So you'd be miles away.
But I bet some people would take the... Like, fear would be like, yeah, take me to Vermont. Like,
right. Please just, I'll go anywhere you want to go. I'm sure, like, if you really didn't want to do it, they couldn't throw you out of the plane. But anyway, you did sign. So
what was it like for you? I need to know everything.
Here's what they do.
I'm terrified.
You sit there and you're on tandem. So the guy they had me with, I actually have it on video. And if I ever do, I want to at a show someday like show the video because it's also funny because I'm like 18 years old and like, hey, my name's Matt.
No,
and
wait.
It's so dark. So dark. It's so dark and triggering. And
So
the guy,
many masks.
and you're
so
like-
many masks.
It's just this, yeah.
it was bad. So the guy they chose to put on my back was this guy with like spiky hair, like comically spiky, like cartoon from Nickelodeon, spiky. That's like the rebel kid.
Yes.
That.
Oh my God.
So he's on my back. I think his name was something insane, like fucking Trask. I don't know. But he's on my back, and like what they do is all my friends went, and then I was going, and then my friend was going behind me. So it couldn't be this thing of like they all went, and I was like, "Ooh, something happened where I had to stay. Like I couldn't go."
Yeah.
So at that point, I was like, "Oh my God, we have to go." What they do is,
Oh God.
they sit you on the ledge
Oh.
of the plane
So your legs are dangling.
with your legs
No.
dangling.
Feeling the air.
And then you go 1, rock
No.
forward, 2, rock forward. And then on 3, you are supposed to front flip out of the plane and then throw your arms and legs back and like...
That's insane.
Like, so you do like a front flip like it's some fucking transporter shit, Jason Statham nonsense.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
so as you're now, how
You're
do you know
supposed to
you're
be a
coming
special
out
effects
of
wizard.
it? How do you know you're coming out of the role?
Well,
you know what I mean?
I don't
Aren't
know.
you
Also, remember
disoriented?
there was a guy on my back, so I trusted him.
Oh, right, and he will help you.
He will help.
And he'll scream like, legs out. If you're
Legs
doing
down,
it.
like legs out to the wind, and you're just like, ah. So you do it,
And
then,
Trask was the one who pulled the shoe.
No, yes, he eventually pulled the chute.
Okay.
But and we'll
thank
call
God.
him Trask. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
he's officially Trask.
Yeah.
We flip out. I watched the video later. I did not successfully flip. I merely flopped out. Like I see myself like trying.
You didn't like go.
But you also see like my mouth being like, no. I got the video of it too because I had to pay for the video. Like I was like, if I'm gonna do
Yes.
this, I want video evidence. So I do a front flip out, do it, and for the first like 15 seconds, you feel that free fall, like you were talking the Pirates of the Caribbean.
your stomach?
Ah! Yes, that. But then the rest of it is I would
Yes.
say it was similar to when you stick your hand out of a car on
Okay.
the highway. It's like that air
Right.
on your arm.
Yes.
That's what it feels like the whole rest
Wind
of the way
tunnel
down.
kind of vibe.
Yes, very
Or what
wind
it looks
tunnel.
like when you see wind tunnels. On
Exactly,
television.
exactly. And so like I'm
So
like
you're on your whole body.
and yes,
Right.
and so you do see a moment because it's like a minute and a half where you're in free fall. And the
Right.
video catches me like having this euphoric
Really?
time of like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm trusting it. And guess what? If I'm gonna die, it is already decided.
Yes.
So then I'm like free in the moment, and then he pulls the chute. It pulls, and what they don't tell you, what's unclear about the
God.
skydiving experience,
Yes.
So there's a whiplash or no?
not even that. It's that
Oh,
you float down from 3,000 feet for 10 minutes.
That's so funny.
So that's the part that fucks me up. Like the free fall was fine, but it's not this thing where they pull it and then seconds later you're on the
Yes,
ground. No,
which
it's
is what it
10
looks like.
minutes of just you in the harness with a stranger on your back and just this piece of fabric above you and literally thousands of feet under you. And that is what people don't realize is that is the part
Once the chute has been pulled, it's actually
It's-
where the terror begins.
yes, in 10 minutes. And then he started to do this thing where he started to like
Oh,
yank
no.
on the ropes so that we would do like a flipping motion
Why?
because that's what people do. And he was like,
You
"Yeah,
want
this is
more
gonna be
bang
really
for your
cool."
buck, Trask.
Right.
Yeah.
I got my $250 out of him. So, and it was like it was expensive.
too much.
So like then I start to get really violently
too much.
sick. Like I feel myself get nauseous because I realize the gravity of the situation, like literally, no pun intended. But
Yes.
like I'm like, oh my God, we're now floating down. It's gonna be 10 minutes of this, and he's spinning it, and I start to get really nauseous. I hadn't eaten that day because I was too nervous.
Yes.
I should have known. Like I always need to go on like roller coasters on a full stomach, or else I get nauseous.
What?
I start to dry
I know what you
heave
mean.
into my
No.
own shirt, spitting into my t-shirt, and really having a hard time. Floating down 10,000 feet, spitting, coughing, sputtering into my
he,
shirt.
like, talking to
Trask
you?
is like, "Oh, you okay, dude?" Honestly, I was like, "I just
And
don't think
did
we
you
should."
answer in your bro voice?
I was like, "Yeah, dude, I don't think you should
God.
spin. I don't think we should talk
No.
either." And I'm like, I think I'm I'm throwing up into my shirt the contents of my like bile.
And dry heaving is hell.
Oh, it was horrible, and I did it the whole way down. And then like the video is off you by this point because they can't like float right next to you. So like the last thing you see is him pull the chute. Then there's off camera 10 minutes of me like into my shirt, and then the next shot is just us landing and me landing. And the guy with the video camera goes, "Hey, it's Matt. What do you think? One of many?" And I just go with like dazed look in my eye, like I've been punched in the face. I just give like a lazy thumbs up, and it ends on my face.
No.
I can't believe I've never shown you this. I have to show you this.
I think you have to post onto the Patreon.
I should post.
Oh yeah,
because it was such an insane experience, and
I
said never again. But this is the part of the story that is, and comes back to what you were saying. My other friend Kevin did not have a negative experience.
Really?
He loved it. So much so that he went again. He wanted to do, because if you go 3 times, then you don't have to go tandem. Then you can go by yourself. So he
what is the appeal?
And only after 3 times.
I mean, do you want to swim with someone on your back?
Oh my God, I guess.
So then,
I mean, in theory, if you like the sensation.
But no,
he goes, get this,
Yeah.
he goes a second time. He has the experience. He does it. They land. The guy goes to him that was on his back. He goes, obviously there was no time to tell you this. I didn't want to tell you while we were in midair, but we had to go to the backup chute. The first chute didn't pull.
Oh my God.
And
Wait.
that happens like
Often.
not uncommonly.
Okay, so
it happened to my friend.
Okay, right. And not
He
even,
could have
not even a friend
died.
of a friend. No,
No, my close friend Kevin from high school.
I'm really disturbed, okay? Because
You should be.
here's the thing. It's like, why are they betting on 2? Okay, when one can go,
Oh my God.
then certainly the second one can. So why are we doing it at all?
well,
It's not safe.
and is 3 even enough?
well, here's the thing. It's like then you
No.
really sit down and realize, oh, one place we're not supposed to be,
the
midair.
sky.
Midair. You're not supposed to be up there. You're not supposed to be in midair. You're not supposed to be
No.
deep diving in the sea.
We
I'm
have-
sorry. It's uninhabitable.
Truly. I scuba diving, like
It's even
I'm
worse.
like, oh my God, like with the air tanks, like
Oh.
I'm like, what a bad idea to choose to like have your breathing rely on a tank of air.
Oh, no.
And like a series of gizmos and gadgets. Once again,
No.
gizmos and gadgets.
Gizmos and Gadgets might be the title of it.
Gizmos
and Gadgets.
It's not. No. Like, I mean, first of all, have you ever seen like one of the finest films and frankly like pieces of American drama? Like, I think it could have been staged on a stage.
was
Open
it?
water.
Open water.
Okay.
Open water. I saw the trailer and I was like, I
Okay,
can't
you
see
got
that.
it. And I think open water, because it's so simple. I always like laugh about the idea of like a really stripped down theatrical production. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Like just like them
2
on
chairs.
stage, like oh my
Like,
God,
it's like 2 stools, like you
Yeah.
know, even though they're like in like whatever, like but it's like representative,
like Harold
Ro-
Pinter style.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
wouldn't that be
rocking
like the
chairs.
best? But I think it is like amazing. You got to see it.
Do you know Open Water?
I don't know. Open
Okay,
water.
Open Water is the story of a couple that goes
yeah.
on like a vacation,
Scuba
like a
diving
scuba
trip.
diving trip on their
Okay,
honeymoon or
okay,
something.
okay.
And they go and they come up and the boat has had to leave because of like some issue or something.
Oh my
And they
God.
forgot them. They didn't
They
realize.
forgot them. Like there was like a clerical error or something
Yeah.
on the boat. Again,
On the
why you
boat's-
don't sign your life away.
Yeah. And the boat's like wet clipboard.
Yeah,
that, like,
right,
You write
yeah.
like how many like life vests you took. It was a
Yeah,
life
you know a
vest
guy
that
named
counted-
Chet like ran it.
Oh my God. Why isn't this automated? Okay,
And
go.
so they are out in open water and they eventually sharks start to circle them and like, spoiler alert. Like,
No.
When did this come out?
And I go, spoiler alert. His face says it all, but I'm like, no, don't tell him.
I won't tell.
'Cause, like,
I won't tell you what happens, but like,
Wait.
what would happen to
When did
you?
it- when did this
What
come-
would happen to you?
When did this come out?
Oh, I'm gonna
my
say this
God.
is the bet 9 years ago,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
Yeah, at least. Like, because I feel like, and I showed up for Open Water too, which is not even made by the same people. It's one of those like, hey, I'm gonna
Analogous sequels.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. It's
Where it's
like-
like just like for the love of the game, you know? Like,
Yeah,
they're like,
right.
They're like, we're making, and Open Water 2 is like its own like kind of. Open Water 2 is like a group of people, and the premise is like
Oh.
they're on this yacht and they decide to go swimming outside of the boat. They like let the ladder down. Like,
Right.
They screw up and like the ladder is like up and like so they're
Oh, no.
they're stuck outside their own like
Yacht.
fancy boat in the middle
no
of
way
the
of
water,
getting in.
like pitifully like trying to like move up at the slippery
No.
sides of their boat.
I
Like,
love that.
Oh my God, that's actually I love it.
it's like
love
there's like a dramatic kind of like simple horror.
yeah,
It's like there's
yeah.
a Sisyphean
It's right
quality
there.
to
Exactly.
Yes.
It's right there.
That should have been the
love
first one.
that.
I know,
That's a
I know.
comment. That's a comment.
It is a comment. And there's more to it. Even like, there's more about like wealth and like status that comes into play.
Wow. It got all
Oh.
like social political.
It's not, although it doesn't have the simplicity, like it could be staged.
It's not about just like basic
I think we
terror.
staged this.
Yeah.
Could be staged.
I think but human beings should just not even
No.
underwater. They shouldn't be in water.
Oh yes.
I believe we should be in the
terrifying.
shallow water.
Well,
To bathe.
Cool off.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
off. Like, because imagine if we were primitive, which we once were.
which we want.
We
Yeah.
would need to be there to bathe. But no deep diving, no nonsense.
Not even deep diving. But Matt and I were just at Alcatraz a couple weeks ago, and
Yeah.
we did one of the tours where they explained all the attempted escapes.
Yes.
Oh,
And
wow.
there's only been one successful escape from Alcatraz, where the man like gets out, whatever, and then
Genius plan to get
Genius
out.
How?
plan to get out.
That's not the
Involving like taking floss or some sort of like
Okay.
stringy substance
Yeah,
and
yeah.
every day for 7 years,
one of
like
those?
going at one bar.
yeah. Going at one bar, and then he escapes through like the vents or something.
Yeah.
climbs up the vents to the roof.
Crosses over the roof.
Crosses over the roof.
Amazing.
Lands at the shore. I guess.
Walks with purpose, like he's going somewhere,
Right, you
like as
got
if he
to.
has the permission.
Right,
Yes.
and then like they have no way of knowing what the conditions are on the water
Right.
from inside.
In
So-
December.
In December.
In December in San Francisco.
Cold
Decidedly
water,
not
waves
warm.
are crashing, and he has to the tour guide basically describes in like amazing detail his swim from
No.
the island to the shore
Yeah.
in San Francisco, but he has to but then just the waves are pushing him
Yeah.
towards the sea,
Right.
and he's like, okay, Ghirardelli Square is my target.
Yeah. Misses that.
Misses that, and then the next target is
no.
I
the
guess
another landmark.
another landmark.
Yes.
What's it called? The fucking military base that's next to
Yes.
Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
Just misses every landmark until he basically lands at like right by the Golden Gate Bridge, and then he immediately gets taken, and then
He's
gets sent back.
hypothermic. And then he's hypothermic, washes up. So he wasn't even dead.
He was hypothermic. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
then he
then
was
and then they
brought back?
find him like in a ball,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then he
yeah.
was literally that night
No.
brought back to Alcatraz. Yeah.
And so
No.
this is all to say that human beings shouldn't be in water. Period.
Right, this is all to say that. But that was like a fascinating story because they said like he had literally done this thing that he had worked on for 7 years every single day, hatching this genius plan to break out of Alcatraz, and then he gets to the cliff and he was like, oh my god, I don't think I can do this. I literally don't think this is possible. And he has to make a decision like, am I gonna go back and like possibly even die because they shoot me dead right here and I'm
Yes.
trying to get out and I might be a danger to the I didn't know this either. Families that lived on Alcatraz, like the families of
families
like the
of
guards
the
and like the
guards,
people
yeah.
that own the
Oh.
thing. So that was like, and they felt very safe there. Or do I literally probably die doing this, but I'd rather have that than be in prison? And he
gotta go for
decided
it.
to go for it, and it didn't
To
work.
go for it is so. But do you think there was a God? When people go for it, it's
I
incredible.
love
when
it. It's
people go
incredible
for
when
it.
people go for it. It's actually rule of culture number 104. It's incredible when people go for it.
Because it's so hard.
It's so hard, to go for it.
I mean, and he both, he showed grit.
Yes.
Like he did the
Gumption.
long term, right? He was able to do the long term thing, and he was able to do the spontaneous, like
Yes.
bold move.
Yeah.
To be both those guys.
Yeah.
He showed range.
In one.
Yeah. He showed range.
Really when they make a musical of it, the number on the cliff is going to be amazing.
The number.
Oh,
on
that's like yeah.
Should I go in there or no? I don't know. I hear it.
I love
I
that.
hear it. Yes, I'm also seeing like the lights swirling over Javert. Like
yeah.
so I'm
It'll
kind
be
of
such a
pushing,
moment.
Like that, like the dive, like is done through the lights. you know?
Yes, absolutely. Oh no!
Yeah.
Like when he falls.
And you're like,
there
they got
is
that.
no place to go.
Amazing.
Love to act.
We're
Love to
we're
act.
thinking in such stagey terms.
Yeah, I don't know. I see it
I
as a
love it.
musical for some
Yes,
reason.
I think it is.
Alcatraz, the musical.
Yeah.
Alcatraz the musical.
Wait, we have to ask you the question that we ask all of our
yeah.
guests. And that just shows how crack-a-lack this conversation has been,
Ooh,
that we are
baby.
getting there and almost
Percolating.
nearly an hour into the discussion.
Yes.
But Jacqueline, what was the culture that made you say culture was for me? Like could have been something in pop culture you experienced as a youngin', or like, a movie that you saw maybe even later in life that was like, okay, no, actually this. Like what did you
Yes.
say is the pop culture that
It's
defines
really,
you?
okay. It's really hard to say, but I mean, and I'm probably not the first person to say this, but I would say a good big one would probably be Grease 2.
Grease 2.
Not even the first.
It's the 40th anniversary of the first Grease.
Yeah, did you know that?
yeah.
Timely of you.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, Grease is great, but Grease 2 is really, I mean, it's big for my family, okay. Including my cousins. And and on Thanksgiving, my sister would usually direct us in a few Grease 2 numbers.
Oh, wow.
We were all just really big fans of it. And I do believe that a large part of my personality is perhaps molded after Stephanie Zanoni, Michelle Pfeiffer's character.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
And kind of for me, I feel like it gave me something to model myself in high school after, okay, which was I'm these are my friends and whatever, but I'm also independent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to hang with who I want when I want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait, give a brief summary of Grease 2, because I think a lot of the children don't know.
No, fair enough. And also get in there because it holds up.
Because I have to say, I don't know the plot of Grease 2.
I watched it once as a child and I hated it because it wasn't Grease 1.
No, of course.
It could never be.
And its lackings are its strengths, you know?
Okay.
I love that.
You just have to let it, you just have to just embrace it on its own terms. Because it's got sort of there's something trashy about it.
Of course.
And it's wonderful. So it's a couple years later,
New kids,
except Frenchie is back.
Frenchie's the constant.
It didn't work out.
Why is she back? I guess she's back from.
She went back to high school.
Right?
She went to beauty school.
Beauty school dropout,
She's
go back to high
now.
school.
Yeah.
She took his advice.
So Sandy's cousin, Michael Carrington, who's nerdy and has an accent and whatever. Okay, like a male Sandra Dee, so to speak.
We gotta love.
Okay, shows up, and Frenchie's I'm gonna show you around. Same thing, right? And then and Michelle Pfeiffer's already there. Michelle Pfeiffer's a pink lady. It's senior year, and there's the other pink ladies, and it's things are on the rocks. She did it with the T-Bird of her Johnny, okay? And things are kind of on the rocks, and then she's kind of over his macho nonsense, okay?
Yeah, who needs it?
And she's so cool, okay? And she's dreaming of a cool rider, which is a wonderful song.
Yeah.
Which is I want to see OOLRIDER. I want a rider that's cool.
Spelling it out. Yep.
You know, and it's
An early
she
Fergie.
dances around the empty stage because there's a theater production that plays heavily in and a big talent show.
Oh, is she an actress in the play? In the
they're
movie?
everyone in the school is participating. Even the T-Birds are
of course,
we're
they're all
going
interested in the arts.
Huh? Okay, yeah. They're all want it because there's a prize or something. And whatever. So, so Stephanie Zanoni's and Stephanie Zanoni strikes up a friendship with this very nerdy Michael Carrington, who's doing everyone's homework for them, doing homework for the T-Birds,
but secretly hot
to get money. Oh yeah, definitely to get money too. Well, this big secret hot is coming. Okay.
Oh wow.
So he's
I knew it.
he's doing everyone's homework and getting money, and then he's going buys a beat up motorcycle. Okay.
Oh.
And because he hears Stephanie Zanoni being I want a rider that's cool. I want a whole lot more than the boy next door. I want hell on wheels.
Ooh.
Just give me that
bad
black
boy.
motorcycle with a man growing out of the seat.
Ooh.
And then by night we'll be rolling around with a cool rider. Okay, it's incredible. Okay.
I'm gonna Spotify that later.
Okay,
Yes,
it's so
yes.
good. And so he he's playing piano for the talent show, whatever. So he hears this and he's I gotta get cool. So he pays the money. He fixes up the bike, and he practices in a field and falls over, but then he gets pretty good and he wears a helmet. And one night at the bowling alley, okay, where they're all singing, "We're gonna score tonight."
Oh, at the
We're
alley.
gonna score tonight. It's incredible, right? And so hey Johnny go bowl that strike, and I just might be a baby tonight.
Ooh,
Okay.
I like that, baby tonight.
So then they go
We need
outside
that.
and they're what's going on? Because T-Birds are there, the ladies are there, and someone comes up okay, and blows past them
It's
and
Michael.
goes zooming up onto a car and then they start singing, "Who's that guy on that motorcycle?"
Oh my God.
And then Michael on the thing, "What would they say if they knew it was Michael?" Okay.
Ah!
Okay.
And Michael and
And
motorcycle
he's
rhyme.
hidden. He's still hidden.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
And so they're "Who's that guy?" And then he comes around and Stephanie Zanoni gets on and rides through the night with him.
Because she doesn't care who it is.
Yeah, he's a cool rider.
He's a cool rider.
And she kisses him with the helmet still on, and so it's you just see
Through the
his
visor?
lips.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
just the
you
lips.
you
Oh,
can't.
you just see the lips.
And he drops her off, and she's
Oh, it's
and
a
then,
Batman situation that
yes,
didn't need to be.
Yes.
Okay, got
yes.
it.
And it's really
love
important.
that.
And Michael's still tutoring her, and and like,
Oh my
but like
God.
the way, like, but there's something about like, I honestly, it's like so cheeseball, but like, I was like, yeah, like that's what I'd be like. Like, yes, you can be part of the Pink Ladies, but not want to be owned like property. And like, yeah, yeah. So she does this thing where she's like in front of like Johnny. Okay, she's like in the bowling alley before. Wait, let me see how this works. I think this is what happened. Like Johnny's like upset, and she's like, sorry, it's like I'm such a bad storyteller. She's like, I can kiss whoever she doesn't say fuck, but
If I want.
yeah, like, everything who I want or whatever. Like I'll kiss the next guy that walks in here. Oh yeah, and like Johnny's like, oh yeah, go for it. And like if this old man walks in, okay, and everyone's like, ha, and like she walks over, and right at that moment, Michael, like nerdy Michael, comes in. She grabs him and kisses him. Like, and Michael's like, what? And it's like to make a point. Now the great thing about the other thing that's key in Grease too, okay? Just I'll give you one more like flavor to like get you excited.
We need more.
I mean, it's all incredible. It opens with a number called Back to School, okay?
Back to School.
I
You get
love
the
that.
feeling,
Setting
okay?
the world.
Okay, and then you get in there, and then they're in class, and they're learning about reproduction, and it's a full number, and it's like, reproduction, put your stamen to work.
Oh
So,
my
there's
God.
like flower
Flowers.
stuff. It's not put your stamen to work, but there's stuff like that.
Yeah.
God, oh my God.
That was good that they used like real language.
Yeah, they really do it. So it's
Yeah.
amazing. And then basically, ultimately, like, so that mystery like unfolds and things come to a head at the big, production that night. And there's like danger and risk of death. And like, but there's the one song that sucks. There's one song that sucks.
Really, there's one.
You know how there's like sometimes like one song that sucks?
There's always a dud or two.
Sometimes there might even be
More
3 or
than
4
one.
songs that suck. Although, what's the song that sucks in regular Grease? Is there one?
Oh, wait. I feel like there is. Wait, let me think.
Hopelessly Devoted to You does not suck.
No.
Grease
Right.
Lightning does not suck. Summer Nights does not suck. You're the One That I Want does not suck.
Right.
We Go Together does not suck.
No,
I guess one
yeah,
of the
it's
songs
strong.
it's a
Those are all
very
strong.
strong score.
There's one in Grease 2, and like maybe, like for me, like the Tango Marine and Rent is not.
I don't like that.
Okay.
I love the Tango Marine.
Okay, and I'm like always ashamed because I'm like the comedy. I'm like, get me away from the comedy. You
Oh,
know
well,
what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like
I
in
mean,
Rent.
I don't like the
Yeah,
levity
yeah,
of it.
Yeah.
No, I
Like,
don't.
get me back to like forget regret. 'Cause,
Yes,
like,
yes,
I
yes,
love that.
truly.
Tango Marine, like I feel guilty like not liking it, but like anyway, Charades. I just want to put that out there. It's called Charades.
Charades
and
is
it's
a bad song.
sad. It's like a dark night of the soul for Michael, where he just like you see him moving through the cafeteria, getting food, and singing like about the charade that is like math.
His life.
It's very not good. But
He
it's
could
like,
have changed
It's
it.
like special.
So wait, is it the kind of movie where it's like this person would never ever get the attention of these people, but like you're watching it and you're like, but he's so hot.
He's very beautiful, and like I forget who the actor like is now. Like I can't remember his name because it's just like the movie's real to me. You know?
Yeah,
Right.
right.
And I'm like, he's absolutely like a handsome man. But I, in my youth, like because I still always like felt like I perceived him as like the like
nerd.
nerdy cheeseball. So I was like kind of like I was like I saw that he was like aesthetically like whatever, fine. But like I was still like I'm like he's still a cheeseball under there. Like,
presentation
I
of
wasn't
it.
thrilled by the romance, to be honest.
Yeah. You buy the presentation of like I guess
Yeah.
like in what is it? Not
Keep the helmet
Never
on.
Been Kissed. The other one.
She's all that.
She's all that.
Yes.
Like when they're like,
Oh, yeah.
her. You're like,
Right, the
yeah,
glasses.
gorgeous.
her. She's nothing. Meanwhile, like
God.
literally the whole trope
Yeah.
in Not Another Teen Movie, which is brilliant, of just like
Yes.
her taking off the sunglasses or the taking
Yes.
off the glasses and being like, okay, done. That's really all we needed.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
That's a good movie.
That's a great. None of the teen
yeah, no,
movies.
Not Another Teen Movie.
There's no change to him. I mean,
Right.
visibly, like there's no glasses. He may have glasses, but like there's nothing other than like putting on. Like
The motorcycle.
it's
Yes.
like she is, and the nice thing is that when they're tutoring, and he's tutoring her, and he's like, and she's like into him, and she's like falling for him in the tutoring setting. So it's not like she's only falling for the cool writer. It's like
Right.
there's like a flirting there, and it's like, why are you hanging out with nerds? You know, like
She's into his personhood.
absolutely.
There you go. That's
And she goes, like, there's no ketchup on your burger. Okay. She's like,
Oh my god.
and
She's like, you gotta put ketchup on your burger.
okay. And I love it. And I feel like that was a part of my personality too. Like she's like, can I get some ketchup for my friend's hamburger, please? Or something. And I feel like that like has fed
that
into my
figured
like,
in.
And you know the way she said hamburger was probably just like that and so iconic. You know what I'm sitting here and
Literally,
realizing
yes.
right now? Grease is
High School
quite
Musical.
problematic.
Oh,
The fact that
Yeah.
she comes in her leather getup at the end and he's like, Sandy! And
Oh
then
my
he
gosh.
basically just gets to flip back and dance sexy with her and then everything's fine. But like,
He
she
was a
only
jerk.
earns their respect when she embraces her like sexuality that like,
and she conforms to the male gaze,
and she fully does. And also she discovers it in one day, which means there's probably got to be some like stuff going on there. Like that's not who she wants to be. That's who you want her to be. I don't think so, honey. Grease.
I appreciate that it's like
an issue,
right?
Yeah.
It's a latent sexuality for Sandy. Like it's always been there.
Yes.
But yes, like the pacing of it.
She was having sex with him on the beach that summer.
Right.
Like that's
were they having
forget.
sex? Is that up for debate or was that a thing?
Okay, what are the lyrics?
We made out under the dock, and she says, "We splashed around in the pool."
I mean, they show them like lying there though. Like they show visual. I mean, in the movie, like
yeah,
right?
they do cut. I mean, they fade into.
They
visual.
definitely discuss at least heavy petting.
Yeah,
but I don't think I don't think they were having sex.
No, like
no, maybe they're not.
Because then he tries to touch her boob later in the car, and she's like, "Oh!"
It figures into her sort of like prudishness as Sandra D. Yeah, no, totally.
But he's been like really hideous to her. Like in the car, it is grotesque that now he's like trying to make a move. But yeah, like it is like
terrible.
what. Like, and it's like, look, like I like smoked cigarettes in college, like to try to be like, you better shape up. Like I literally was like, I'm cool and I'm mean to my own body.
Yes.
Like you know, like
I degrade myself for you.
It's like, yeah, it's an issue.
It's an issue.
But really, no connection to Grease 1 for you?
No, I love it.
Yes,
I mean, I love
it.
all the tunes.
But Grease 2 was the thing that like opened all the doors.
Right. In terms of like the culture or whatever, like yeah, like Grease 2 has to be a huge one. I mean, we embodied it ourselves. We watched it a lot. You know, but like I would do a lot of back to back.
1 and 2.
No, I was gonna drop into like a different one, but I should
do it.
Like because I was gonna go into like Adventures in Babysitting.
Okay.
Combined with Beetlejuice was like a big double feature for me.
The movie,
Oh,
okay. Beetlejuice, that was And honestly, do you think that kind of like formed your sense of humor a little bit, like that?
Possibly,
kind of, yeah.
Like I do see like Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice. I'm like that's got to be a comedic influence. Also Ursula, and obviously we know why. Okay, I mean,
wait, Ursula?
I mean, sorry, Little Mermaid. Obviously,
yes.
I'm not
yeah,
alone,
yeah,
okay?
of course.
But,
Little Mermaid forever.
And Ursula, like doing Ursula, like you can easily, obviously, see me doing Poor Unfortunate Souls, like around in the basement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like
same.
You know,
I was scared of her though.
Yeah.
Did you have any fear towards her?
I loved her.
I think I was scared at the same time as like the thrill of embodying her, like.
Yeah,
her like the humor of her.
There is a thrill to just even this moment, and
yes,
listeners, let us know if you relate to this. But the moment when Ursula in Poor Unfortunate Souls like spins around this plume of smoke and says and sings, "It's sad but true."
Yeah,
there's like
the reality of life.
There's such like a kinesthetic thing about it where she's like moving through it. I'm like, oh my God, that's mind blowing. She is.
Yes.
I was never scared of her. I was always like, oh, what is that? And then you find out, oh, it's based on Divine.
Based on the drag queen Divine.
Yeah.
And that's why I find comforting.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, it's like, isn't it sort of sweet? Like I was like profoundly influenced by Ursula, like not knowing like what was being like
yes, the influence
that was being like snuck into me. It's kind of like, so like, I'm like, yes, like, I'm like, now I very much appreciate.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's like a Trojan
horse for John Waters stuff. It's
exactly.
like, oh wow, I
got
always
in early. It planted the like love, and it's like there's something you're responding to. Big like Ursula. I mean, it was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable.
If there had been an inspiration for Ursula, it'd be like,
well, how would you create her?
How would you have? Yeah, like that would be like genius happening.
Yes.
You know?
I mean, I think it was when she got very big.
Yes.
That I got really scared of her. But I think I always appreciated Poor Unfortunate Souls. But she's it's funny now, but like for kids, she's scary.
Yeah.
And also I liked that there were like she was like a female villain.
Yes.
Like because I think that was like there's a lot of weird shit about
she was a female villain who used her sexuality.
Ooh, honey.
And Maleficent never did that. Cruella de Vil never did that.
Right, because those are like it's a different kind of like icon. Like Ursula was like heavy, right?
Yeah.
And like eating like suckling and
Sucking
eating
on
like
a shrimp.
Yeah, those little live like
overtly sexual.
Yeah. Like and you know it's sort of like feminine. It's kind of like everything that's like shameful about femininity, and that we feel like it's like, I mean, which again makes sense, right? But like it's like her like
tentacles.
Her tentacles like floating around her, like feeding herself and like squeezing the little things and it bursting like a little lipstick or whatever.
Oh yeah!
Oh,
Oh my God! I'll
on.
never forget that image.
And then the tiny like also like sort of like I mean, it was really disturbing. It was like the tiny, poor, unfortunate souls that were like kept in that little.
Yes.
Like,
Oh yeah, so sad, devastating.
But
And they, like-
she had the vanity, she had the boudoir,
Yes.
or whatever the fuck. Like,
oh my god, yeah.
and her two like eels.
oh my god.
Flotsam
and Jetsam.
Which
Matt
to me
Rogers
like
and Bowen
later.
Yang. That's true.
We would gladly be the Flotsam and Jetsam to
Oh.
your Ursula.
If you want us to get
Jacqueline.
the performance going,
Okay.
There
we'll
you
be
go.
like, we'll just wordlessly
Imagine-
flop around you like
Imagine
this.
if you were like brilliantly like we really did like the stage work that was necessary for you to be like to be able to move like just by like manipulating your abdominals. And you were completely suited like eels.
I could do it.
I know you could. I know
Oh
you
my
could.
goodness.
I'm a
Like all your
beam.
moves would like almost like trigger like so you'd be on like something smooth. Like
Yeah.
you'd make the subtle like wiggles, but you'd like shoot across the stage.
Yes.
Wow.
Honestly, we had a friend on the show, Amy Jo Jackson, who's played Ursula in like the
Oh, yeah.
production. Yeah.
Yes.
And she says that to get into the costume is a procedure,
Yeah.
but it's necessary to bring the full
Oh,
illusion.
absolutely. She bore it.
The whole fantasy.
She grinned and bore it. Okay, I think it's time.
It might be time.
Did I say anything? Did I get,
Did you
did
get
I get
culture?
anything out?
We covered a large swath of culture.
Let me tell you something. I think that
Yeah.
people, and so have you stayed in Michelle Pfeiffer stan after Grease 2?
I think so.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
I'm
once
never
you-
gonna turn on, like I'm like, yeah. Like
Yeah,
and
you
actually,
love her.
yeah, like I do.
What has she done wrong? Nothing.
That's what I'm
Right,
saying.
exactly.
You can't see a Michelle Pfeiffer performance and not leave being like, who the hell was that?
Yes.
Miss Baltimore
You know what I mean?
Crabs. I mean,
Even in Hairspray.
so fun.
But also, she turns out so many great performances. Like, she'll take
Yeah, what are some of the
quote
other
unquote
ones?
take a break.
Right.
But like, even the movies that no one really knows about, like there's a movie called Stardust.
oh yes.
She's amazing.
what
in
is
it. She plays a
Stardust?
witch.
Oh no, I think I've definitely seen that.
It's like a children's high fantasy movie.
And there was a movie called White Oleander, which I think more people
yeah.
know. But
Yes.
she was incredible in that. Like,
Yes.
Psycho.
right.
And she was so good in that, and like the typical monster mom fare,
Love
but
it.
does it well.
Yes.
And then of course, all her iconic performances. But it really all started with, was it Grease 2, which was her first thing, or was it Scarface? Do we know?
Scarface definitely came out before Grease 2.
Really, you think?
Grease 2 was like
I can't like identify when Grease 2 came up because I'm like, to me it's like
Everywhere.
I've always been confused about
Yeah.
Grease
Sure.
because of the
It's been-
time period of the thing.
yes.
And that's gonna like who's gonna remember like 70 years from now?
it's
Yeah.
We're
omnipresent.
gonna think it was made in the 50s, in the whatever.
Wow.
And that is always, they do such a quote unquote good job, I
Yeah.
feel, in evoking the 50s that I'm
Yeah.
always like, oh, this is a 50s movie, but it's now fully a 70s
Yes.
movie.
Exactly.
1978.
Oh my god.
And that is part of it. That's like part of what's
Yeah.
the weird dynamics. Anyway.
It's so great when you see something just like nail like a period. Like I'll say right now, like
Yeah.
I think the show out there
Yeah.
that does it best right now is Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yes.
I don't even know how they accomplish what they accomplish, but
Yeah.
that is like
it's fun
that
to
time. Like I mean,
Yes.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's fun to think about a period piece that was done like decades ago. Isn't
Right.
That fun? There's
Yeah,
like, there's
that
like
is
layers
interesting.
to that. It's like,
Exactly.
oh, this is like a Victorian thing. Like it's
Yes.
like,
It's a 90s Victorian. It's hilarious.
yes,
Like
isn't
a
that
Sense and
so
Sensibility.
fun?
'Cause
Yeah.
It's like, what was the way we did like period pieces in the 90s? Like,
Right.
what did we think? Like, like,
There's a double refraction.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, it's one thing and then another. Anyway, just
Have
thought
you
I'd
ever
point
seen
that
The
out.
Age of Innocence? That also has Michelle
Yes.
Pfeiffer. She's incredible in that. She's like gives that movie so much life and vitality. And I watched it in high school, and I was like, I hate this movie. It's boring, and I really don't. I'm not a Daniel Day-Lewis fan.
Yeah.
I think he's sort of boring when he's not playing wacko.
right. Hilarious.
But looking back at that movie, I'm like, that movie was lush. It looked
Yeah.
Age of Innocence.
good, honey.
Yeah.
Like there's full shots
Wouldn't you
of
just
them
want
just
to be
like
in a period piece? So
yeah,
bad?
Oh,
honestly,
yeah.
if I
Get
felt
me
I had
in it.
any real talent
Yeah,
like that,
you'd
I would
insist.
love to. But no,
What?
I know I'd put on the
Just
costume
act?
no, just act like a period.
Oh, like to bring out the like, but like I do think there's like a new like look. If I one day direct a period piece, I will have some like things which is like we're not automatically doing a British accent just because it's old timey.
Right,
That's not
right.
relevant. You know what I mean? And
That's so true.
we also don't have to like look like our skin may also look better than it would have looked in the 1800s.
100.
And we're not like well, actually we do, but in other words, like there could be a way to be where you do it where you like make the adjustments and you're like, yeah, we're not going to talk like. I don't know. This is me making up rules for my own
But
work where I wouldn't have to do the hard thing.
There are
but I
there are
think-
anachronisms no matter what.
Right.
It's like it's like
There
it's-
has to be.
there
Yeah.
has to be, and it's like like I was watching Marie Antoinette on the plane,
I was just gonna bring that
Yeah.
up.
and I was like, okay, but this still works. It still works, even though she has like
It tells her story.
Right.
Chuck Taylor's or whatever the fuck.
It's just stylized.
Yeah.
Does she wear Converse?
Oh wait, I didn't
something
realize.
like that.
Okay, they're like going for it like
No,
that.
there's like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the soundtrack is like fully contemporary, and like she wears like footwear that's modern, and she like I think to like really
She doesn't have an
enforce-
accent. Like
It's like we're telling the story.
She speaks like Kirsten Dunst.
there you go.
But then there was
What?
like Shakespeare in Love.
Okay.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, was that whole movie in like Shakespeare language?
I don't-
Shakespeare language.
Yeah.
Well, no, because even
That's a good one too.
because even Shakespeare writing was stylized
Right.
in that way. I think
Right, it's not like they all talked in iambic pentameter,
Exactly.
rhyming, like, or
Right.
also like Shakespeare. You know what I think is a funny thing to say about Shakespeare?
What?
It's like so like whatever. I mean, it's very subtle. I mean, it's very not. I'm overly building it up, but I love to do that because I kind of feel
love
like why like trick you? Like
Why trick
what I'm
me?
about to say is not that interesting. Okay, but it's slightly amusing to me, and it's just like it's like a funny. I find it fun and funny to say Shakespeare's not funny.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
That's
watch
the whole
people
thing.
just go.
Because like how like I love like like how there's like you kind of want to in comedy like I mean or in anything right like appreciate the classics
Yeah,
and be
of
like
course, but
look
no.
like Moliere was big for me, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's like and you're like you try to read it or something or like you're like what can I say? I'm like whatever like go like those are the things I get.
Are you saying that you
public
don't?
library sales? Okay,
Yeah.
where I'm like like my stand-up's gonna be informed
Yeah.
by like Balzac. or
Yeah.
whatever.
By
Everyone who
Voltaire.
came before
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I am an amalgamation of everyone who's
God.
come before.
I
So
agree with you.
Yeah,
Shakespeare's
100%.
not funny. I took a camp. I took like a week-long day camp when I was in 7th grade where it was like a Shakespeare camp, and a unit was learning how to insult someone with Shakespearean insults. And
Classic.
it was the dumbest,
Yeah.
least cool
Who needs
thing
it?
I've ever encountered in my
Honestly,
life.
I feel like it's like asked and answered that I say this. All the listeners are gonna be like, "Yeah, bitch, we know," but I don't get Shakespeare.
Okay, stop.
No, everyone's gonna be
it's
like,
brilliant.
"Girl,
No. I think you both make a good point. Flotsam and Jetsam, okay? I honestly think it's
because
fair.
it's actually
Thank you,
yeah,
Ursula.
Flotsam. One of them was very well read, and Jetsam was like the dumb one who like watched Real Housewives.
There you go.
Okay, it is time.
Thank
Now,
you.
this is our segment on our show where we take 1 minute to rail against something in culture. You may know it if you're a listener of this show. It's called I Don't Think So, Honey.
Yay.
And we very much appreciate. Will this episode come out before or after our live show? Okay, well we love that you came out to our live show at the Bell House then, and
heard it was
we all had a
smash
fabulous
success.
time, and we're gonna get you on one of them soon.
Yes.
because that we need
Absolutely.
it.
Oh,
need it.
it'd be heaven.
We
It'd be
need
heaven.
it. All right, so
You have one?
I have one. It's based on a shared
Can't wait.
experience we just had.
Oh, I think I have one similar.
Okay, and it's gonna be different.
Okay.
but I can tell it's gonna be different. But
Okay.
we'll see.
This is Matt Rogers' I Don't Think So, Honey. His time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. When you go see a play and in the theater, people are unwrapping food. You have been told. It's
Oh
like
my
crazy. And I
God.
actually think this is even worse than the cell phones going off.
Yeah.
Because you can forget that your cell phone was on. You can't forget what it sounds like when you're unwrapping a piece of candy. I don't think so, honey. It is so loud.
Yes.
And then guess what? You trying to like do it quieter is making it worse because you're elongating the
Oh my God,
experience of
30
everyone
seconds.
listening to it. So you need to please, honestly, if you're watching a play or a musical, whatever, there's going to be a scene change. Unwrap it quickly then. I don't think so, honey. If we're in the middle of literally Adina Menzel's
God.
last monologue in Skin Tight,
Yes.
it's her
Yes.
last emotional
15
monologue with the guy.
seconds.
And am I wrong?
No.
Someone started opening the gift wrapper, and you literally lost 10 seconds of what she was saying.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I
oh
don't
my
think
God.
so, honey. Opening things
5 seconds.
during the thing. I would rather you set a firework off.
And that's 1 minute. But here's the thing, Matt. You know what happened during her last monologue was also a cell phone going off.
No.
There, honestly,
It was
But still better.
It was crazy.
yes. And here's the thing: they obviously were all concerned about the cell phones going off during performances. Like that's something that they
One
reinforced
of them went on for a minute.
a long time. And also, there was one of the ushers was like running up and down the aisles trying to find who it was, and it's just like, girl, I can't believe this.
Someone went with strict denial.
Right.
If you don't acknowledge that it's your phone, you're like,
No,
who's-
it can't be.
And
I
it-
know.
You
I know. I can't
have
be the
to leave.
asshole. No, just turn it off.
my
And
God.
also, honestly,
But there was someone right in front of you guys.
yeah, right in front of
unwrapping.
us who was unwrapping, and I was just like, God, like I know I'll feel like a dick being like, excuse me, stop, but like excuse me, stop. And it's like, it's a rule
and he got
of the theater.
His partner, whoever he was with, chastised him. They were like, stop unwrapping. And then he got louder. He was like,
humiliation.
I'm just a mama. And like he raised his voice.
It's like an indignance. It's like the thing of like when someone is like, knows they're wrong but can't take it.
Yes.
And honestly, it probably was like a lot of stuffy older white guys in there. And honestly, that is another thing, is it's like
a homogenous crowd.
I don't think so, honey. These people at the theater who are a certain demographic who can't live without their phones being on full fucking volume and blast. It's like, guys, come on. And then you're the one who's telling like our generation that we're inappropriate. Like, you're inappropriate.
Truly.
Seriously, the behavior at the theater by these people and the unwrapping of candy, it is really sick. I know Joe appreciates it because he comes from the theater.
I appreciate this deeply as well.
Thank
you. We almost stopped.
We saw this. We saw for people. Did we mention we saw Skin Tight?
We saw Skin Tight. Roundabout Theater Company Skin Tight with Idina Menzel.
Show.
It was lovely. I loved. Whenever I see Idina Menzel on stage, I'm like, oh, there's Idina Menzel. You know what I mean? She is a star.
And she's a star. And she's and like you're like, oh yeah, she's great. She's a Tony winning.
Yeah, and like honestly, there are so many. There's like so many. Like, it's a play. It's not a musical. So if you're going to see her give you Idina vocals, you're going to see her giving you grounded Idina acting, and it was fun, and it was about like some interesting things. So we would recommend seeing Skin Tight.
Yes, and my I Don't Think So, Honey is going to be from the same experience.
Wow, and this is Bowen Yang's I Don't Think So, Honey, and his time starts now.
I Don't Think So, Honey, the gay gentleman who sat next to me at Skin Tight.
Oh yes,
who fucking read me when I compare. First of all, I was talking to Matt and Cindy, who came over. We're not seated together, but Matt and Cindy came over during intermission. They were like, "How do you like the show?" I was like, "I like it. It reminds me of like it's like a modernized Neil Simon play." And then this fucker, had the audacity to butt into this conversation that he was not a part of, and he said, "Well, let's not be too generous, okay?" And I was like, fun. But then, which isn't even in the
30
issue.
seconds.
Well, I mean, one, it is an issue, rude. But then during Act 2. There's this comedic pattern. There's a callback to like these people like putting on like Botox, and it's funny. But then 15. Then he taps my shoulder and says, "Okay, now it's Neil Simon." And I go, "Sir, do not bother me while I am trying to enjoy this play." And so, first of all, I was right. Thank you for acknowledging my correctness, but I don't think so, honey, that man.
And that's 1 minute. You know what? These people, they think they run shit.
No.
And they can get away with all their nonsense.
Be a good theater goer. Anyway.
This is a delight. I wish we were going to the theater tonight.
I know, so we can tell them all.
In on this.
We can show them how it's done.
Must eat. Okay, I get being hungry. I get wanting snacks. Like, work it into like a cloth bag. Like figure it out.
Or just like just.
You know
literally,
what I'm saying?
you don't need it then.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
You never do.
I'm coming up with like the most, like if someone
cloth bag I like.
And
cloth bag I like.
Cloth bag with a soft, like if you can like sneak soft chocolate in your mouth.
Yeah.
go for it.
Do that.
Like, the slow, like and I've known the shame, and I actually believe in the movie theater. And I think I'm sorry, the podcast is over, but I just want to say one thing, which is, and I think you'll appreciate. Now, I actually weirdly believe that the snacks they sell at the movie theater and the noises they create are part of the deal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
those
part of the deal.
Are fine.
That's
and
part
so
of the
it's
deal.
almost like now, maybe if it's a silent moment in a quiet place and you go, wah, you try to be reasonable with your milk duds or whatever. But I believe like those are all fair game in movies because they're part of it.
Because there's subwoofers involved.
No, the movie theater, movie going experience is different. Also because you're not paying $70 for a ticket. Like,
you're in the same room as you're in the same fucking room as the performer.
That's what I'm saying
They can hear the candy.
Yes.
If you can hear it, they can hear it. And honey, we can all hear it. And I think what needs to happen is we need to have a progression where just the voice coming up before the play is not going to be enough. I think an usher needs to get on stage and be like, "Hi guys, thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
Due to constant issues, we are going to have to ask everyone right now to turn off their phone. And this is going to be a reminder at this time that it is not appropriate to unwrap snacks during the performance."
There you go.
Can I get a verbal yes from everyone that has heard?
Oh my God, Matt
This is what they do at Pathmark. I mean, not Pathmark. Landmark Cinemas.
Yes.
But for talking, and it's wonderful. Literally, a guy comes out and says, "Welcome." Like absolutely, and zero screen policy. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Just you pulling out your phone at all in the light.
Love it.
Sorry.
I think we need to have more respect.
They do a similar thing at Alamo Draft
Yeah.
House where after one warning, if they will come to you if you pull your screen out and they say please leave.
And also,
And I feel like it is
yes,
enforced.
yes.
It's enforced.
Yes.
And also the thing that they do sometimes at like Alamo Draft House, which I don't think is maybe enough or maybe
Yeah.
not going about it the right way, is they'll have like a funny video before the movie, which is like turn your phone off, like a funny video, like
let's not be
at
cute
the
about it.
AMC,
No.
like the little red
yeah.
things are like
Don't
beep, 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 beep.
ruin the movie.
Yeah, and it's like, girl, it's not a joke.
Don't be pressured.
I don't think it's funny. Girl, it's not a joke. This isn't a joke.
Me and my boyfriend. I mean, we could talk about this. Like I'll have to come back to talk about it. 'Cause it's like, but like our like plight like in life is about noise in the movie theater and people
Yeah,
talking
no.
and how the
Wow.
two of us are going to handle it. Like we got in, like a real fight like with someone a ladybird.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I turned around 180 degrees to face them when they were like
Oh.
making like homophobic comments.
No. Oh my
yeah.
God.
And like whatever. And I turned around and stared. And then like Chris knows he's not allowed to say anything because it's like he's too scary.
Yeah.
So if he says stuff like it's gonna like trigger a fight.
When it comes
So then
from
what
you,
was-
it's like we take it
What,
seriously
they're gonna
because
hurt
we're not
me?
gonna like buck up.
Yeah, what are they gonna do,
Sure,
right?
sure,
So, like,
sure.
but then when they disrespect me in response, then Chris is like, "Oh no, you didn't." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Very
he's like defend. Then he launches into defending me. I hadn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Anyway, yeah.
Honestly,
More respect.
there was one moment where Sydney Washington, my seatmate, did speak out in the middle of the play, and it was when Idina Menzel comes down the stairs in like a great dress at the end, and Sydney goes, "Oh, she didn't come to play with these hoes," like out loud, and I was like, "Yeah, that's okay."
Yeah, fair enough.
But
Fair enough.
honestly-
This commentary, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough, and especially in that fucking audience, like just all like
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Everything was out of the window.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say bunch of bridge and tunnelers.
Honestly, maybe like people who feel entitled to come in because they've
Yes, and
journeyed
then
in
feel
and they're
like-
up in age.
There you go. I mean, not to that sounds ageist or classist,
No,
whatever.
well, if they're not acting like that, we wouldn't have reason to talk about it.
It's unacceptable. Okay, great, Jacqueline. It's time for your. I don't think so, honey.
Oh no, I'm not ready. I totally forgot. Wait.
Okay.
What did you think? We were just gonna do it.
We were just gonna do
no,
it?
no. I had it, and then I had three. Wait, hold on. Let me just revisit.
We
Okay.
talked
Okay,
about
okay,
so
okay.
much
I
theater.
know. No, I've panicked. Wait. All
Okay.
right. Ground me in something. Just give me the topic.
The topic is
Going to the theater.
All right. Well, I guess I could do like. Wait, what bothers me in acting? All right. It's too hard to explain. All right. Let me think.
yeah, but oftentimes when you think it's hard to explain, but then you find it
You get going.
almost immediately.
You get going.
If I were to give you this, I don't think so, honey. Goldilocks, not the story, the person.
Wait. Who's the person? Like the girl?
The girl.
Goldilocks herself. To go negative
Is
on
she
her.
beloved?
I don't know if she's.
I thought she was
beloved.
a known
or like,
asshole.
or I could do. I don't think so,
No,
honey. Gina Davis. Or I could do. I don't think so, honey. Marissa Tomei.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
But
I mean,
get it.
let me try Goldilocks first.
Okay. I don't. This is this is Jacqueline Novak's Troll Bowl. I don't think so, honey. Topic because she's decided to go into the Troll Bowl.
Yes.
Y'all. And this is your topic is Goldilocks, not the story, the person.
And your time starts now.
Look, Goldilocks, I don't think so, honey. Okay. I'm tired of your nonsense. Okay. And I'm tired of frankly hearing about you. Your story doesn't mean anything to me. Okay. I'm sorry. Trying different things that come in different sizes, like that's not like deeply spiritual like, or like archetypal in any way. Like that doesn't deserve to be something that's referenced. Like, oh, that's the Goldilocks theory, or oh, that's the Goldilocks story. It's like, what did you do? You walked into someone's house and they weren't there. Wow. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't find that like that's shocking, particularly because like they were bears, right?
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Yes.
They were bears, and it's like, so who wouldn't be afraid to go into a bear's house? Like, you're safer in there if the bears are outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, she didn't do anything courageous. There's kind of something obnoxious about obviously like her trying all the beds, whatever. Like people, but like, but it's generally the fact that she
15
thinks.
seconds.
My problem isn't that it's not that she's a bitch. The problem is that she thinks her story is worth telling. And
Oh.
it's not. You didn't do. It's not.
It's not worth telling.
I don't think
5
so, honey.
seconds.
I don't think so, honey. You're not enough to endure.
And that's 1 minute. She's told this young girl in the industry, Goldilocks, that she's not enough.
I mean, that was a pretty splendid. I don't think so, honey.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You delve into the trouble. You,
Jacqueline's giving us
you-
the
I know
look.
because I panic. I panic with choices. Okay.
Well,
no,
Yes,
but
we
that's
all-
fine because guess what? When we forced
why
you
the
into a
Troll Bowl-
choice,
That's
the
what
Troll Bowl is
the
king.
Troll Bowl is king.
No, it is king, and actually, this is the. I want my. This is going to be big for me. I need more things pushed on me like this.
you need
Okay.
like more improvising in your life.
But
yeah,
then,
or just like forced.
No one should force you to do something you don't want. But Jacqueline, if you have an open invitation to send us a recorded, I don't think so, honey, at any time.
Yes,
But-
and we'll use it as our segment, which is voice mem. Oh, you bitch, which is
Right,
we're always
so I can
looking
still
for
do that.
anyway.
But what about Goldilocks? It won't be replaced, right?
No. Goldilocks
I
is here
actually
to
thought
stay.
I said what I wanted to say.
No, you did.
Goldilocks is canon. I don't think so,
roasted her.
honey.
Okay.
For Goldilocks is canon.
I can't believe that she went in there and tried all the beds.
Unbelievable.
That's insane.
And
Because guess what? You don't know who was in there.
it's
Insane for you to do.
What is that entitlement?
She thought she was being interesting by doing it. That's
Yeah,
what bothers
yeah.
me.
She told
She'd
someone.
just done it and gone about her life.
Yeah.
No.
But that is the big story from the life. Doesn't seem.
And also, it's a story that
Compelling.
we keep telling. Is that an Aesop's fable?
I don't know if it's Aesop or if it's the Brothers Grimm.
Well,
I'm not
whoever's
sure. No,
fable
it's not
it
the
is.
Brothers Grimm. But
It's like it's only utilized. Sorry, I'm done. But it's like it's only utilized for this, like for metaphors. But it's a meaningless metaphor.
it's meaningless. It
100%.
truly is.
Too hot,
meaningless.
too cold.
Really,
like-
what is the story at the end of it?
That we like averages?
Stay out of things?
Whatever.
Yeah,
Truly.
it's pushing the status quo. It's pushing the middle choice.
You know what? You're right.
Wow.
It's forcing us all towards the middle, and that makes it very dangerous.
This is one of our more intellectual episodes. I
Oh,
have
we
to
talked.
say.
We dove into
Oh my
culture.
God.
We waded through it, and I don't just mean because of the reference to open water. Again, spoiler alert.
We branched out into different topics, and I'm not just saying that as a reference to the link tree.
No.
Oh my god.
But check out Jacqueline's link tree on her Instagram.
JACNOV.
JACNOV.
JACNOV, and also maybe a good title of that would be the link tree.
Link tree. Or we've got some other
Although, do you
great
want to
ones.
promote their brand like when I haven't yet been sure if the tree is going to work out?
The tree
Right.
will work. You
All right.
are originating. You are the preeminent riffer on the link in bio.
Which is a lie. Everyone will see the evidence that it's a lie. I think it's a funny thing to say around the house.
Around the house. Around the house. Let's end on a song as we always do.
Yeah. I want
Want
a
a
cool rider. We're not singing this song right. I want a
COOL.
Yes.
RIDER, baby.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm Michelle. You will know me for more serious fare in the future. I will earn many Oscar nominations and controversially never win. But you know what? It's not over for Michelle.
It's not over. We love
But
you,
it is
Michelle.
over for this episode of the podcast.
Bye.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
Forever. Dog.
This has been a Forever Dog production. Executive produced by Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. For more original podcasts, please visit foreverdogpodcasts.com and subscribe to our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep up with the latest Forever Dog news by following us on